Hello and welcome to the ADLR Podcast, where we're hitting the ground running with a heated debate. Randall hates zoners.
I'm not okay, hold up. Let's just get off to the honest truth.
Yeah.
I don't hate zoners because I actually tend to zone sometimes when I'm playing, depending on who I'm playing. But
Yeah, depends on the character.
So do you not have respect for yourself?
Yeah,
Is
like
that-
I think it has nothing to do with his type of fighting style. Like it has to do with the fact that he didn't fight her one-on-one.
Okay.
That's what I have.
it's a
problem
strategy. Like he knew that he wasn't going to win in a one-on-one fight. Like
with. I could understand.
why would you go into a fight that you knew you weren't going to lose or you weren't going to win?
Okay, I could understand that. All right, so I could understand the whole concept of like her being way more powerful than him.
Yeah.
That he shouldn't fight her. He should get someone else who is way more powerful, who's on her level to fight her.
Why would you do that?
Because that's what you normally do.
But
That's literally what he did, though.
How? When?
His goons fought for him.
No, he's the one that was killing her.
okay.
They were just there to block her attacks. There was some who actually like did some swipes, but he was dealing most of the attacks.
And that is the person, Randall.
And then there was a part where like
he created those.
he had
guys.
everybody stand back where it was just him and her fighting, and
Yeah.
he was dodging her moves. So I'm like, okay, then he must be on her level. But then when she was about to come down on his face with the sword, old boy comes out of nowhere and blocks the sword. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, that's
Like, come on, man. Nah, I don't.
well, I'm all about the eyes. Like,
If
that's how you win battles, Randall. Like I don't know.
You know how I would respect it? I would respect it if it was more like I forget the dude's name that's from Guilty Gear. He has like
Guilty Gear.
Oh, Zato with the stand, basically.
yeah. If it was part of his ability, like to manifest things like that,
It is.
and
That is part of his ability. He created those goons with the sword. He is a forger.
He's a forge master.
yeah, but they were people before. He didn't like manifest them out of thin air. They were people, and then he transformed them into that.
You're getting into nitty gritty just so you can dodge this. Like that's
What Zato has, he wasn't born with that. That's a primal beast that took over his body.
But it's like it's his ability though, right? Like he's controlling it.
it's its own entity, Rand. That's what it sounds like.
That's the questionable part. Who's controlling it?
Well, the way he's played in the game is like he's controlling it.
Well, you're controlling both. The player is. What do you want from me, Randall? I gotta hit you with the actual facts. You're controlling both of them.
I'm controlling him and he's controlling it. So
No,
it still does not negate the fact that he's controlling it.
You are controlling
That's
both.
the weird thing, though. So that's the weird thing. So Zato dies, and that thing resurrects him. And a lot of times, it's like a parasitic relationship. So we don't really know if it's just Eddie wearing him and playing through him, or we don't know what the actual case is.
I don't know if it's just me, but I think you're clipping, Brian.
We don't know.
Okay, we'll see.
No, he's clipping.
Okay.
He's coming in like
Okay. We'll see then in a sec if it keeps going, because it just started now. Like right there, it wasn't. All right, we'll figure it out. But anyway, I don't know. I thought Isaac was lit. Like he stood back, made his army, and he's like, now I'm good to fight. Like who else is gonna go fight? Like he's not gonna go recruit anybody. Nobody's on his agenda. The only one that was his agenda. Well, who was the other Forge Master? What was his name?
Hector.
Hector, and he wasn't helping. So
He also wasn't. He's also not as strong as Isaac is.
exactly.
Like he's not a fighter.
It's different. Hey, man, if you don't like Isaac, you don't like Isaac. When he was having that fight, I'm like, both of them look clean. Carmelo was doing some clean-ass moves, and Isaac was doing some clean moves, bro.
All right, so up until that point, I was iffy about Carmella. Until I...
Wait, what do you mean iffy?
Because she was like on some like kill everything types.
Well,
like,
you know,
attitude.
but you
then
know
once
why.
I found out why, then I was like, okay, I actually like her because I understand her pain, and it's kind of like you can kind of relate. I can't relate to it, but
You can see
it's
how you
realistic
get there. Yeah.
because women used to like. I mean, they still kind of go through it now, but years ago they used to go through like not being respected at all.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I get that, and now I understand her pain and why she's like on some kill every man type stuff.
She was bodying everyone.
And then when I was always like wondering, like,
Can she actually fight?
yeah, because you know how like you have some like top dog and he's like giving out all the orders, but can he actually fight? It's my first question. Is like, why is everyone afraid of this person or whatever?
No, she could throw down.
But yo, when I
You mean it's weird to send your goons in first until the person's worn out and then go take them out? That is weird.
That's what top dogs
weak.
do.
Everybody has their way of fighting, and I'm not knocking somebody else. If that's your style, that's your style. But I'm more of a samurai honor type person.
You're the one with the guy in the tank that says "Drive me closer" with fucking hit him with my sword.
No, I mean I'm the type of like if I was a general or whatever,
you're the first to battle?
I would go into battle with my army, and I would be at the front of the line. I wouldn't be behind them.
Well, they were ambushed in that battle because remember they came in through a tear. If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So I mean, she fought when time came to fight.
But no, I'm not like questioning her her ability or like if she's like throwing goons or whatever. I'm just saying like if I'm more the type of person when it comes to fighting, especially. I mean, we don't live in a world like this, but if we lived in a world where there were powers and we had powers and stuff like that,
speak for yourself.
I would challenge people myself. I would never have anyone fight for me ever.
Would you make sure their friends are there to see the game?
What do you say?
Would you make sure that your friends are there to see the game? You know,
Dave Chappelle, yeah. I would just make sure that if I know how powerful this person is, I would just make sure that I would be at my
you'd be Rocky mode,
my toppest. But if it's somebody I don't know about and I just happen to have to fight them, then it's like,
so be it.
I'm going to find out how powerful it is, like firsthand. I might get bodied, but
that makes sense. But yeah, some good stuff happening that season. Animation was dope though, right? During the fight.
Yeah, man. Like it was clean. I like the animation, especially with the fight scenes. And I don't know what it was with like the quick whims, like the responses that people were making to each other were like really funny.
Oh, the quips, got it.
Yeah, like
it's like Uncharted levels of back and forth.
Yeah, like one. Well, I can't repeat it, but it was funny.
I'm about to say you better commit to it. If it's something that it's a curse word, you better say it.
It's the one that keeps talking to the vampire that keeps saying, "Do you know who I am?" So he was I call it the phone, but it was like British, the mirror or whatever.
The mirror, yeah.
And he was talking to what is his name?
Saint Bernard or Saint Germain.
Saint Germain.
That's what it is.
And he was talking to him and he was like, do you know who I am? All that stuff like that or whatever. And he just like disconnected the thing and he was like, mother.
Yeah. he was actually
Saint Germain. I thought for the longest time his name was either Charlemagne or Saint Germain because of the way he says it. And I was like trying to talk to Nick or something about it after season like 3, and he's like, "Who the fuck are you talking about?" I was like, "The weird dude." Like he's like, "You mean Saint Germain?" I was like, "Is that what his name is?" Because it sounds like he's saying this stuff. He's like, "Yeah," he just says it really weird.
Oh shit!
He was Saint Germain.
Saint Germain. He has a really good, like distinct accent, and you got to like pay attention.
How many episodes do you have left, Randall?
He's only got like 3, I think. It's 10 episodes, right?
Yeah,
He's on 7.
I'm on 7 right now.
You're in for a ride.
Yeah,
I still haven't seen this dude that I'm supposed to be liking.
You're in for a ride.
Yeah, because it's about to happen. Oh, you're right. The axe dude. Oh my god. Yeah, you're gonna like him.
I thought that
you're gonna like him. I forgot that's after the fight, after the Carmella fight.
I thought that when I'm forgetting names again.
What they look like.
The couple.
Striga and
Striga,
sorry. I forgot the girl's name. Oh, he's blind.
I can see her face, but I always forget what her name is.
And what?
The other sisters.
It's
Striga. No, not the sisters, the couple. Not the vampire couple. The other couple. Well, I call them a couple. Maybe they're not officially a couple. But
the other couple?
The one with the whip.
Oh, Belmont and
what's the girl name?
Her name is Sypha. Right?
Okay.
Never forget that.
I forgot why I brought them up.
Because they were fighting the entire time. That's what you were telling me earlier.
Yeah, but it was
clearly you just wanted to embarrass yourself because you forgot her name.
And he hates zoners.
Right? You basically just said "fuck you, Brian" to me.
Yeah, live on television.
I don't remember.
It'll come up later. I guess by the end of the season. I forgot that the Carmella stuff is like.
Oh, now I
halfway through the
remember.
season.
It was when them two were. It was like after they were going through their montage of fights and stuff like that, and they got to this one barn when they was trying to finally rest, and that's when the vampire was like, "Do you know who I am, guy?"
Yeah,
and they attacked them, and it was like some people that came to save them. And they were black. So I was like, I'm like eagerly looking for this dude to tell her. I'm like for somebody to teleport to see who it was. And it was a dude, it was a guy with a sledgehammer. And I thought it was him until he got his head bitten off.
Yep, until he was gone.
Like, okay.
It's not him. When you see Axis, we'll give you that hint.
Or that's his name, Axis?
No, when you see Axis.
Oh, Axis.
Like he's God of War. Sorry, Kratos. When I say God of War, wild. Okay. That fight was fucking.
And he's a good guy?
He's a guy.
Oh, come on, man.
It's just when you see him.
Can you at least tell me if he's good?
He's a guy, Randall, but when you see him battle, it's just really cool. The animation in this season was so good, especially the action. And his was really cool.
What's his name? Alucard?
Yes.
Yo, you're getting real disrespectful with the people that matter.
Yeah, like you gotta remember his name, bro. One, he's got the drip. Two,
you disrespected 2 out of my 3 characters already.
I don't know, man. Like sometimes I feel I don't understand him a little bit because one minute he's showing how powerful he really is, and then another minute he's like nerfed. So like there's this part where they're in the woods after they kill like a bunch of monsters. And then he's like, I hear something, and everybody pauses or whatever.
I think that's the spiders, right? That they come in.
No, this is after the spiders.
Okay.
I think. And there's a dog barking.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden this thing drops down, grabs the dog, and bites it in half. I'm like, yo, you didn't see old boy coming down? Like you didn't hear him? You could have saved the dog.
He could have seen and heard.
He was standing right, like it landed right in front of him. I'm like, aren't you supposed to have like super senses and hearing and stuff like that?
Maybe. But they also, like a lot of the creatures, they also have like their douse with magic or some shit. I don't know if that one did, but sometimes they can like mask their presence. But I don't know if that spider did. And they like you said, they just finished fighting people, so he could just be exhausted. I don't know. I'm not gonna make up excuses for him, but you're right.
Yeah, I don't know. That part bothered me, and then it was like when he was fighting some of the monsters, I'm like, he should this should be light work for him, shouldn't it be? But I guess he said if they
don't know
if they have some sort of protect, I don't know what they,
because there's when it comes to magic, you can write in anything, right? Like it's
at least if that's the case, like make it known. Because to me as a viewer, I'm just thinking that they're just monsters.
So you're like, yo, this guy should have one-shotted all these guys. So he should
be like murking everybody, man. But he's like having to block and stuff like that. I'm like, aren't you like Dracula's son? Like, what's going on, bro? If I was a character in that show and I'm looking at the fight, I'm like, yo, like, why are you blocking? Aren't you Dracula's son? I just see you levitate a sword and throw it and then call it back like it was Mjolnir. Like, what's the problem?
He only has so much mana, Randall. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's on cooldown.
You can't wrinkle the coat.
So I'm actually really curious right now. What did you think about the fight between Dracula and then the other 3? You know, that at the same time, because that's basically what they did the same thing that
what's his name? That Isaac did.
Isaac did against Carmella. They knew that they weren't strong enough to fight him one-on-one, and so they were like, we're gonna bomb rush him as a team and take him down, and they still almost lost. Like
they barely made it out.
Okay, so that situation is different.
How?
It's not.
You're going against a Dracula?
What do you mean a Dracula?
I mean, I didn't mean to say a Dracula.
Yeah.
I'm so hyped. So that I threw in the A for some reason.
Yeah.
You're going up against Dracula, so and then it was already established that this was going to be a team effort.
What? That was established when they went through the rip. Like when he made all that army.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. Because he said before he went through the rift, he was like, kill everything except for Carmella, leave her to me.
And that's what happened.
That's what he said. So if I say that to you, Anthony, that does not mean that when we get into the room, I expect you to block for me.
Yeah,
that means no, it does not. If I say Anthony, Kelsey, leave Kelsey to me, kill everything else. That means that when we get to the room, you chill in the spot and watch me do my thing. Because it's him and not fighting.
That's not what that means to me.
Even what he said, he was the one to kill her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, that just means have my back just in case shit hits sideways, but you get the killing blow. That's what that means to me.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like if you told me, well, we're gonna go right now to drive to Kelsey's house, and I'm leaving him to you. I'm on standby. If he's about to attack you, like if he's gonna do a fatal blow to you, I'm jumping in. But if you're doing
that's not what that means, man. That means that he wants to fight him one-on-one.
Okay.
If he said, "Don't anyone touch her," like he said, "Kill but not her." If
yeah.
He said, "Yo, anyone else don't touch her," then that's the 1v1.
That's different.
That's what he said. That Brian. That's what he said verbatim. He said, "No one else touch her."
Oh, okay.
Leave her.
I don't remember him saying touch. So.
For sure.
Yes.
Touch or kill. What did he say?
He said, "No one else touch her."
Okay,
leave Carmella to me.
Then you're right. Okay.
If that's the case, then I can see your qualms with it.
And then that's fine. But to me, that's the same thing. You go in there. This is the big bad. We got to do some team effort here. That's all. That's his team. Everyone he gets
if you establish like okay, like neither one of us can beat this dude in one-on-one, so this is going to take a Avengers team effort to bring this guy down. Then okay, but don't walk up.
What happened?
I'm pretty sure he controls the monsters just like with thoughts and things, and I'm pretty sure he used them as blocks, not just him not trying to take damage.
I don't know about that because
he can.
What I'm talking about, what he's saying as far as like at the time, if he's controlling them to make them do things, because there's been several times where he was going to get attacked and the monster jumped in front of him to not get attacked. And when she did the final like explosion, he was rushing her. And the monster was like, "Nah, bro, what you doing?" And he grabbed him and like jumped in front of him and shielded him from the blast. Yeah. So I think like they have their own conscience.
Well, they do, but he has, at the end of the day, if he wanted to, he can force them to do things. Remember that conversation he had with one of the goons that he had while they were
the one that looks like a fly?
Yeah, while they were rebuilding. He's like, why are you giving us free will? He's like, that's how I want this to be. I want you to want to follow me. Or I think that the conversation was something like that.
Yeah.
That's wild, man. I'm telling you, I forgot that the Carmella stuff is not even the end. I forgot that there's still some fights afterwards.
I'm actually really sad that she's dead, man.
Oh, that's true. Might as well. If you're already attacking Brian's characters, you have any choice?
Any choice words for Striga, the last of the three you haven't disrespected yet?
Which one is Striga?
The heavy chick, the one that
big lady,
the one that needs to be in a fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing I'm mad about is that she wasn't there.
That battle would have gone a little different. Yeah.
She if she was there, Carmella would still be alive.
I think so.
Yeah. If they didn't decide to just say, "Yo, fuck off, we're gonna scissor over there," they would have been. Isaac would have been dead. Zick.
I don't know if he'd be dead. I know that the army they would have pushed back. Like a lot of his goons would have died, and then maybe Carmella would have fled or something.
I think Striga alone would have cleared everyone else in that room, and it would have let them fight. I think.
Oh, maybe that. Yeah, that could be it. She'll take on like the brunt of his goons.
I doubt Striga's lover. I always forget her name. Yeah. I don't know if she can fight. We never saw her fight, but I'm assuming not.
She was always like looked at as like the strategist, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I don't think she. Well, I think she just has typical vampire abilities.
The basic loadout.
Yeah. But I don't think she has like any combat skills because even when they were attacking
in the camp,
she told her to get in the box.
Yeah.
But that might have been because there's only one armor.
Yeah, and there was sunlight out. So
true.
Damn, that was an awesome scene too. Everyone was getting bodied.
That she's from the show. It's Striga, then Alucard, then Sypha.
Slip. I don't want to spoil the rest for you. You get the last couple episodes are still really good.
You don't like Carmella?
I'm not a fan of her. I mean, she looks cool, but the second they basically showed her what her character is, I'm like, I'm good on this. She can get revolver.
So even after you found out the meaning behind it,
yeah,
still didn't change anything.
The point is to be better, or else you're just the same as them.
I mean, I don't disagree with you, but I guess if you live as long as she's lived and see how mistreated women are, I would think at a certain point that job would really start to get at you.
I mean, Also, look at Striga's their whole arc. It's like, this isn't even our war. This isn't what we want. Let's just do us.
Yeah.
The warrior was like, I'm done with the war.
Yeah. I mean, after you slaughter a camp like that,
when you face mush someone in armor that's anti-sun, like, what else is there to do, Randall?
She did something that was crazy. I think she
with the sword. I think you're talking.
I think she shoulder charged the horse and then grabbed it by the neck and then sliced through the horse into the guy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness.
That's war, Randall.
I'm telling you, if there's ever a Capcom versus Castlevania, and it's the characters from the show,
on deck, on site. He's gonna find a way to pick her 3 times with different colored skins.
I like how she looks. I like how she fights. Obviously, her voice actress, amazing job. But that's to be said with almost, I think, all the characters in the show.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say Jermaine. Right. Oh. Anyway.
I think that's what makes the show very interesting too, is because it's not just action. Like, you have these moments where they have like these in-depth conversations, and the conversations are like 3 to 5 minutes where these people are just talking and you're like really into what they're saying.
Because the world building's good. It's like political moves. It's also like philosophical talks, and it's really good.
You're really good.
For me, I
don't think so.
It's just another, not that it copied this, but it's similar to Witcher for me. And the things that I like about Witcher, I find in this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, gameplay wise, I love Metroidvania, so that's definitely a hard choice as to what I like more. But I love the show. Only complaint with the show is the animation looks choppy, but that seems like it's a style choice.
All right. I guess we can jump right in since we all ended up seeing Free Guy. I thought it was just me and Brian that ended up watching. I didn't know you guys all watched it too.
I really wanted to be like, "Oh, guys, welcome to the ADLR Podcast." Just like start. We're only 30 minutes into it.
Yeah, just restart. We had the Castlevania. Wait till you finish it. You're gonna have a lot to talk about then. Because it ends pretty cool. So Free Guy. We watched it yesterday. Shout out to my mom. It's her birthday today as we record this. So we watched it yesterday. We went to go eat at her place, and then we watched Free Guy. I don't know where to start here. So it's Ryan Reynolds playing an NPC in a video game. He doesn't know that he's in a video game, but players in it are doing their crazy shit, gamer stuff, killing things, robbing banks, whatever. His NPC is a bank teller, and he gets robbed on a normal. They're used to it. It's just a monotony until an actual player's in there trying to find some evidence of stolen property, like intellectual property, like the code, obviously. And then that's when he starts to realize that he's an NPC, or not an NPC. He just starts to not be the NPC anymore. He starts being active, not, chasing after the player. And that's the overarching plot for the most part. He's trying to get the girl, and the girl's trying to get the evidence. I mean, that's the main, right? Like that's
the basis of it.
That's the basis, yeah. And I don't want to spoil the rest. That's why I'm trying to keep it as vague as, because it just recently came out on digital. So, anyway, I don't even know where to start watching this, because knowing software, knowing video games, I'm like, have you ever heard the complaint of like a person who's in the military watches like action movies and they're like, they're just cringe the entire time? That was me watching this, because I'm like,
because it wasn't accurate.
There's so much where I'm like, they either threw in a cameo just because of cameo's sake, or they'll say some terminology, or like. The thing that I hated the most was the last part when he's hacking at the servers and parts of the world are going away. If you hack at a server, all of it's gone. Okay? Unless, of course, you have redundancy and backups, but they would turn on again. I don't know.
Not to mention restarting a server doesn't necessarily like restart everything. Like, if there's data that's been created for, one of the programs, it's still going to be there unless there's a script that's like, hey, wipe everything and start it back up. But I'm pretty sure that's not the case.
Yeah, there's storage for a reason. How would they have known all this player data? Like, I don't know. There was
I know like very little on that side, and even then I'm like, it's like one of those movies where someone found out what a video game was, and they're like, we're gonna make a movie about said video games and put Ryan Reynolds in.
And Ninja. Oh, Kelsey probably had a ball when he came on screen.
Yeah, the second I saw him, it's probably the same reaction he had. I was like,
and they had like a bunch of other streamers and stuff, and like
like,
YouTubers, and I'm like, okay,
yeah.
all
Don't
right.
get me wrong. I thought it was cool what they did with like they had a bunch of big streamers that came out and were like, oh, I've been playing this for years and whatever, and talking about it, following it, and whatever. I was like, that's cool, but why?
There was no. It just felt like someone who doesn't play video games on normally made the movie. So I'm like, hey, we'll have game things in it, and then we'll move on. But again, Ryan Reynolds, great. Officer Johnny! That's my favorite line the entire time, is him yelling Officer Johnny. Because he said it so weird the first time. I'm like, why did he yell it like that? Kept it the entire time, every time he talked to him.
I would like a cappuccino. Sir, you're about to get shot.
yeah,
Yes!
The tank in the background was like,
The tank that's another nod to Halo. I think it was Halo. It was the Spartan tank.
oh, okay.
Or not a Spartan tank, the military
US Marine or whatever.
tank from
The
Halo.
tank was about to shoot him if he did not
Yeah.
take the coffee.
You're about to get shot. I'm like, things escalated
Laughed
from
immediately.
like 0 to 100 because he wanted a cappuccino, and I'm like, oh my god. But again, a lot of funny moments, but like the video game parts, I'm like, it's just there to be like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I saw it. I'm like, okay, Ryan Reynolds was great in it. Is all I can pretty much say. His parts was great. What's his name doing this? The uncomfortable talk with Ryan Reynolds. Channing Tatum.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
That made me laugh.
I feel like that would be something. I feel like everything that happened there would have been something Channing would have actually said it, or done.
In my mind, I'm like, he ad-libbed this and they kept it in. Like,
Yes.
there's no way.
the little like dances and whatever.
Yeah. They were walking away and he's like back flipping and stuff on the way. I'm like, that's his Magic Mike experience right there.
No, he was a dancer prior.
Oh, okay,
before
then never
being an
mind.
actor.
I didn't know that.
Remember,
I
he
thought
was
he.
also in
Oh yes, and
not Stomp the Yard. Step Up.
Step Up. That's what it was. I forgot. I keep forgetting that he did have like a bunch of movies with the dancing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoyed it. Again, the only thing that was like cringy was like video game stuff, and that's only because I'm knowledgeable in what actually happens. But besides that, it was a good time.
I think my favorite worst part is they're like, take him out. Sir, we can't. Why not? We don't have anything to throw at them. Dude, you are literally an administrator of the game. Like, if you don't have something in the game that allows you just to go in and just blow shit up on like as your own, character, you're doing it completely wrong. Like, not to mention, you could probably remove him live during the game.
It's actually a plot hole because they were in a room where they had, quote, spawn points. Move that spawn point to where they at and spawn. It's stuff like that where it's like it's there to be, so the kids are like, hey, I get the video game reference. I mean,
The guy who essentially is Aziz Ansari with more hair.
Yeah.
That guy.
yeah.
It's like the way he talks and everything is like a copy of it. Like I was watching Parks. Once they introduced him, like, move on. I already know I'm gonna get tired of this guy.
And he had like, oh, that's my friend. The guy who's like, oh, at the end he's like, oh, now I'm gonna stick up for my friend.
And look, this is what he did. I'm not gonna help you.
Cop?
And walked away as his whole thing got axed.
Yeah.
You think that's my friend? Let me stop him from axing their stuff.
Yeah, the other programmer. It was the guy from Stranger Things and his friend, the bunny suit.
Okay.
He's like, oh, I'm not gonna help you, and then just lets Taika Waititi just go Jack Nicholson on the servers.
Yeah.
So it's like, what was your? We had to fight, right? If that's their game.
Yeah.
I just love the whole, like, he acts as a server. Some building gets destroyed.
I'm like, what?
I was sitting there thinking, I was like, could you really dedicate an entire server to an individual building? Like, theoretically,
Yes.
where everything gets routed to like that specific server. But that's
just not feasible. That's just not feasible.
Yes.
Who would set up a game like that?
The thing too is like, did he jump between servers when he went into the code that he stole?
Who knows?
Because now he's just safe now.
Who knows, Brian? Another thing is, like, at the rate that they were running on that bridge, to have that conversation with Buddy, I'm like, they should both be dead now. Because that bridge was just collapsing. Oh no, man, I'm stronger. No, that conversation should have happened. Keep running, guy. And also, buff guy, hilarious. I don't know why.
Dude.
Or dude, yeah, that's what his name was. I didn't like the catchphrase part, but I'm like, the rest was great when he was trying to talk to him afterwards.
How many people do you think are just gonna run around screaming catchphrase?
Catchphrase. I hope nobody, right? But
you're looking adjective.
Yeah.
I only like 3 things: lifting weights, another
TBD.
thing, and TBD. Yeah, TBD. An insert thing here. I want to know how much of that was actually ad-libbed.
There's got to be a good amount. Oh, I think the saddest moment is when Taika Waititi was explaining how to make money in the company. I'm like, that hits home on any software development company. That was EA speaking right there.
Which part?
Why make a new IP? We can just put a 2 out there. I'm here to sell stuff.
Oh, yes.
Just port it over. We're not done porting the first one over. Whatever. It's not going to be compatible. I'm like, waterfall tears. Oh, look how the industry actually is. Anyway, but again, if you don't have that background knowledge, even if you do, actually, it's still an enjoyable time. Like I was like, oh, what other cameos are going to be shown? What other video game references were they going to put in? Yeah, it was supposed to be like an open world and like MMO, and yes, they set out to do that with the levels, the recurring quests, or like world events, or whatever the case is. There was some stuff, obviously, since we've all played video games, you could see the loopholes here, because it's like, no, because you own the game, you have ungodly amount of powers on servers. Like the whole, we can't find out who the NPC is. Like this, none of that would actually happen. Oh, he's evolving. They would have just deleted that fucker out of there, and that's it. That movie would have been like 5 minutes, and then the credits rolling up.
Actually, if they had actually developed some sort of actual AI, they probably would have taken that and made a shit ton of money off of it.
And that's
like,
yeah.
This is not. It's like numbers are the only thing that matters. Yeah. Do you realize what you can do with an actual AI? Like,
yeah, that it would have been. It wouldn't. Taika Waititi's response wouldn't have been what happened. It would have been like their eyes would have grown green, like the whole thing just green, and then they would have resold that as Free City 3 or 4 or whatever. But yeah, it was. I don't know. I was just fine. I don't know if you guys have anything else to add. I've been kind of like on the middle here.
It's funny. I mean, it's something. It's easy to watch. Like it's not something at the. I need to turn off everything else. I gotta figure out who murdered who. It's nothing like that.
It's not what's the name? Interstellar, where you got to try to piece together how fucking space travel works.
Yeah, when he sees younger than his fucking cum.
What?
technically a true statement.
Oh, right. Because I see what you mean.
Yeah, I mean the movie was great. Like it was just a fun time. It wasn't, like even though it's cringy, with the way that they do stuff. If you know how like a lot of that stuff works, it's not a terrible experience. It's not just like
I want to stop watching. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's like ours is analog nuclear. Like it doesn't just piss away the entire plot with a some shithole like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they do a lot of things wrong, but it's not like
it's not like
I mean, I guess they kind of do with the server thing where the guy, he's going ham on the servers and then certain buildings are going, but that was just a fun, like, oh my God, what's going to happen moment.
Yeah.
The second kiss scene is literally like, we just said fuck whatever we said before when when insert character kisses the girl, and then she's like, "Well, I can't. I don't know. How do you do that?" And then the next time she's just like, "Oh, I know how to do it now."
Oh, that's true. It's like, oh, we don't have a
Yeah,
button for
I
that.
was curious about that too.
Oh, we don't have a button to do that. Bam, does it. Bam, remember, you're in the game world. You remember your rules, right? That's what makes a game, because you're coded a certain way. Anyway. Yeah, again, I don't know. I definitely recommend it. It's a fun time. Ryan Reynolds is funny as hell in it. There's funny moments. It's just funny. There's a lot of funny, outlandish stuff. A bunch of references to modern video games. Quite literally, even cinematic universes that were just straight up like, hey.
What the fuck?
Yeah, a lot of it was like, oh, who can we get in this? And they got a bunch of people and or licenses. I wonder how much it costs them to get a bunch of these stuff in there. So there's some properties there I'm like, wow, well.
When the Shield came out, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But then when I heard the music, and I'm like, this is the actual song.
Yeah, it's the actual. That's why
I immediately was thinking like they must have paid a lot of money just for this song.
Just the song. When I heard it, I'm like, this must have cost a bunch. And then thinking back of all the other references, I'm like, I'm sure a lot of the budget went for licensing in this.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot of in-game assets from other games. The music, of course, of that thing. I'm not going to spoil it because, Anywho. I don't know. But again, fun time. I definitely recommend it. It's definitely a good family movie. It doesn't do anything like grotesque or anything. It's a bunch of gamers.
Yeah, it's definitely just a fun movie to watch.
Yep. And now it's Free Guy. Oof. Kelsey. Because Randall told me some outlandish shit, and I need you to fucking tell me if this is true.
About what?
Okay.
It says that you finished Returnal.
Oh.
Okay, so I don't think I'm actually done. So I think there are 3 acts. Okay, I think you have to basically complete the game 3 times in order to actually finish the game. I have done it twice.
I was gonna deem you God here because I'm like,
wait. You beat it once. Plot thing happens. You beat the second set of bosses.
Yes.
Let's go.
So cool, huh?
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. So,
all right. So how you liking it?
Wait, hold up. Before you go further, so Brian,
he's on the first. Brian's on the first act.
You got the whole.
I finished the first act. I'm on the second act.
So you finished the first 3 bosses, and now you're doing.
Wait, mm-hmm. I need to know that these two are on the same page. So, Brian, when you beat the first act, you saw the natural cause of death thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You gotta chill now. Now you guys get
it. The thing that gets me is that after I beat it the second time, it rolled credits, which I don't think it does on the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember it doing that.
I don't think it does a cutscene, and then it's like.
Yeah, it like shows her like escaping, and then showing off all this shit like when she's back on Earth, and then coming back to the planet.
Okay.
And the second time, I made it down to the. I think are there 3 bosses? I don't remember if there are 3 bosses. There are 3 bosses. So I made it down to the 3rd boss last night and beat him. And then it just rolled credits. And I was like, there's no way that's the end.
So, I mean, if you get credits, doesn't that usually mean that's the end of the game?
I mean, it depends on the game.
Usually. But I looked up the trophies because all the trophies that I haven't unlocked are hidden. And when I came back and started a new one, it said a new harder difficulty is because I think it gets harder as you go through the acts.
Okay.
So like the 3rd act is just like probably going to be ridiculous. But the first one, it only took me like 4 or 5 runs to get all the way through.
Damn, are you out here, dude?
The second one. Actually, I think it only took me like 4 or 5 runs to get through as well.
This guy's a god.
This guy's so talented.
Well, how did you like that? I guess that's what I was going to ask you after the story thing. Is did you enjoy like the moment to moment? Did you like how the game felt? Dodging, shooting?
Oh yeah, I mean, you guys like Gunfire Reborn, right?
Yeah.
Or Hades.
Yeah.
It's basically that.
It's
like
that.
You just you go into a room. You're not locked into rooms per se. Depending on like what's going on, but You go into a room, you blow everything up, and then you move to another room. You know, you find all sorts of weapons.
Don't forget looting. Yeah, I was about to say. And
There's tons of different weapons. Like I think I've unlocked 1, 2, 3, 4, like 7 or 8 different weapons at this point. I don't know if there are any more because like every time I go through an act, there's been some, so there might be.
What's your favorite gun so far?
I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically like a minigun.
Okay.
It just
like it spins up and it starts going faster and faster.
Oh, Spitfire. The one that's like, or an LMG, is that the one you're talking about?
It's the one that shoots purple shit.
The little purple shards?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's called the Spitfire, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Good weapon.
Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. But it's definitely my favorite. It just,
Shreds.
Oh yeah. Hollow Seeker.
That's what it is. Hollow Seeker. Okay.
But the way, so like each weapon has a set of traits. Like you have an alternate fire, and you can, depending on what it does, there's like a sniper shot. There's you should launch grenades or a bunch of rockets, or you shoot electricity, or you fire a beam. Apparently there's a proximity mine.
How did you like
each of them?
How did you like the halfway trigger?
It was interesting. It was like really weird to get used to at first because I was like, but there's like feedback. Like you
can feel when it's halfway. Yeah, you can. They're programmable. Yeah. The triggers are programmable, so that's why you can feel that there's like a resistance to it.
Yes, because like I was like playing, and I was just using, like, it felt a little difficult to go to all the way down, to do the aiming. Right. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. Doesn't look like I have to go all the way down. And then I got the alt fire, and then it felt like it really was hard to go all the way down, without like really pulling on the trigger. But that was like super cool that they could, basically have
an extra set of buttons.
Yeah. It's like having a shift key without having a shift key.
Yep.
But I like the Hollow Seeker the best. One, because it fires super fucking fast, and to me it doesn't feel like a lot of the things can be dealt with without a fast firing weapon. That's not necessarily the case, but there are a lot of times that I feel like I get super overwhelmed, and if you have something that just fires like 3 rockets that targets one thing, and you have 9 things coming at you, not really something that's going to be super helpful.
Especially if you have an enemy that heals the others.
Or
is it armor?
It's a machine.
It should be a machine that pylon. There's one that heals them, right? Or there's a put armor on him.
It's just the big green thing you kill at the beginning of it.
Oh, okay. Then never mind.
But then like in the second act, there's these monsters that basically suicide bomb you.
Oh,
and there's like a thing that spawns them, and when you're getting attacked by 3, 5, 6, 9, 12 of them, having a rocket launcher that goes and fires 3 rockets to kill one thing, not really going to do its job. The other reason I really like the Hollow Seeker is 2 of the traits are called Portal Beam and Portal Turret, and basically what it does is it just spawns these 2 black voids, and it just fucks up whatever is near you.
Nice.
Okay, like it just targets the enemies and just destroys shit.
That sounds dope. I haven't gotten that.
When I first got the gun in Act 1, before they introduced like the traits for me, I'm like, yeah, this gun's ass. Doesn't do anything, right? Shotgun only, essentially. Then I saw, so it's like perks for guns. That's crazy. And then I got a Hollow Seeker, and I'm like, so whatever. It had the one you can shoot through the walls, and then it had the fucking
phasing rounds.
When the drone comes in, and I'm like, all right, well,
I got goons now, so
yeah.
And Randall don't like that. He hates zoners.
Yeah, he hates zoners.
That is not true at all.
He hates playing me in games.
Yeah. All right, cool. I'm glad you're having a good time. I'm pretty sure you would have enjoyed it.
Yeah, I don't know how many hours I have into it. I have to look. But I'm pretty sure it's about 15 at this point.
Maybe less, because if you only did like 5 runs per act, it might be even less.
Well, each run, those runs are long.
Yeah, like especially if you're going, like I usually, so when you get to the third stage, you can skip the second one completely. Like you
Right.
start in the first one and then you can go directly to the second one. And at least I'm pretty sure you can do that in Act 1 too, because
you can.
I got to the second. Once I made it to the second stage, I just finished it. I didn't like. I got a really good hollow seeker and just fucking ended it. Like that was it.
Okay.
That could be why too. I always go to the long way. I'm like, because I want to level.
Yeah.
And then some bullshit hits me, and I'm like, back to the beginning.
You know,
I do the same
and
thing.
that's what I did for the second act. The second act too. Like I always finished the first stage and then went to the third one because I wanted to get a bunch of traits and I wanted to get, you know, a little extra money, and I also wanted to see if I could find a good weapon. Because like having a good weapon, regardless of your traits, makes a massive difference. The last run that I did though, I actually got like some super awesome traits. There was one that every time you got a malfunction, if you got a malfunction or repaired a malfunction, you gained integrity to the suit. And I think it's integrity, or it repairs integrity, I forget. And then the other one is anytime you gained or fixed a malfunction, you gained a combat
level
trait.
Oh, okay.
No, like I think it's basically like using a consumable item, because there's stuff like you get a free shield, you know, so the next hit doesn't do anything. You get like cooldown on your alt fire. You get shit, I don't even remember what else. But there was like a ton of stuff. And at one point, like there were like 9 things just over here on the left hand side, and I had like 4 shields, 5 to my alt cooldown, and then whatever the hell else was there. You know,
he was out there like Yosemite Sam, just fucking blasting people. Go ahead.
There are actually 3 questions. 1, how much did you gamble with the purple items?
Every time.
Like the chests.
For me, I always do.
Oh, every time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost every time. Unless I had 2. The only time that I wouldn't do it is if I already had 2 malfunctions, because then it starts destroying things in your inventory.
The greater malfunction.
So there were a couple times though that I fucked up and didn't like the first time it happened. I didn't know what happened. I just picked it up and then, you know, something came up on the screen and I missed it and was like whatever. And then the second time I saw that it had destroyed something and I was like, what the fuck? And then the third time I think it happened, I was not paying attention and it destroyed my revive item.
Oh, fuck. That hurts.
Second question. Okay, I have 4 now.
All right.
So, second question. When you said you clear the first area and then skip, do you do the boss too, or you just do every room and then skip the boss?
Every room except for the boss.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
because there was no reason to do the boss. Like you know, especially in the second act. The second act, you like head towards the boss room, and then it splits, and you can go into the second or third stage.
Oh, I see. That's my downfall. Is I keep trying to go through all of it. Go ahead, Ron.
Third question. Favorite boss.
Favorite boss.
Mine is the first boss in Act 2. The it's not a synth. The fucking organ guy.
Oh, he was cool.
He's
trying to think.
You got it.
I mean, all of them were relatively like
pretty cool.
Decent.
Yeah. So far, you know, from what I thought,
none of them have so far have been like, well, that was a fucking sham. You know. I'm trying to see the first boss. The time I got to him, I beat him on the first try. And I usually didn't die to the bosses. I died to random shit.
Because the onslaught of fucking projectiles that come at you and enemies, that's just difficult.
It's even worse in Act 2. Let me tell you. Oh
my god.
They're like they don't just fire whatever weapons they have. They just have red shit just flying out of them at all times.
Oh.
Like it's bad.
I'm already like dreading going up against the bombers.
I never got to the second boss in Act 2, but when I got to the first boss, the organ guy, I didn't die to him. First try, went through it. But when I got to the ice area...
That's what happened. When he got to the ice area, he just froze up.
Everything's like, yo, where you from? What neighborhood you from?
Okay. It works now. We got it. Everything's like, what neighborhood you from? It caught up, I think. and it keeps kind of freezing. But I mean, he's good now. He's just smiling at the camera, thinking that I don't see the artifact around him moving.
Yeah.
Wild. All right. Cool.
I mean, I'm definitely enjoying it. You know, I was streaming it over the weekend on the PlayStation, and I was having a lot of fun with it. They apparently, for whatever goddamn reason, took away the ability to choose the stream rate and things for PS remote play for the PS5.
Really?
And it's limited to 720p for PS4. There's like no options now. And because they made it dynamic and everything. And
that's kind of horseshit.
So I just ended up, you know, I was going to stream it on the computer, and it looked terrible. It looked like it was stuck at 540p or 480p, and it was lagging and everything. And I'm like, I'm on a gigabit connection, and my
your local
fucking
network
router
is a gig.
has a gigabit, you know, router, and I'm literally like 60 feet at most that this data has to travel. Okay.
It's not everything can be parsec. I'm telling you. Like, go ahead.
Last
Ryan.
question.
Oh, I
How
forgot.
do you feel about the horror aspect and that fucking house?
Dude, it was creepy as shit. Like, so, like you. Every time I went in there, I'm like, what fucked up shit are we gonna see this time? You know, there was actually one time that I like had the chill come up my spine when I was like, I don't want to be in here anymore. I might have to put this down and step away for a second.
I think I know which part you're talking about. Is it when the entity's standing in the same room as you?
I mean, that happens a couple of times.
In the bedroom?
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember which one it was, because like I've gone through a whole bunch of them now, so it's, you know, it's hard to keep track of them all. There's a couple that are just like freaky.
Oof. Oh, I mean, you guys talking about it makes me want to load it back up again because I need to get past the first act. Yeah. I haven't even gotten past the first one yet.
I need to finish that game for how much I like it.
Same.
And I keep accidentally loading up fighting games or Destiny and then not playing games that I'm supposed to, like Tales of Arise, which I fucking have installed and I still haven't loaded up.
Randall, how do you feel about it? You've played it.
About what?
Returnal. Randall, what do you think we're talking about here? You're just smiling at the camera. You good?
I mean, I already said that I love the game, and every time you guys ask me what am I playing, what do I say? I need to finish Returnal. So
you say I'm gonna buy another copy of Skullgirls is what I hear.
Yeah, every time. Okay. We have you recorded, Randall, so
yeah.
And I hit a button, it cuts to me like dressed up as Randall saying it. Anyhow. I mean, yeah, that game's still I highly recommend playing. I just have not even finished the first act.
Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it. New World's coming out or has come out.
I think
it's today or tomorrow.
It's this week, yeah.
But there's a whole bunch of us that are gonna be playing. We there's a bunch of us in OnClick that were gonna play it, and then we ended up joining up with like some old guildmates from Astron's Call, and so we're gonna end up joining them too.
Nice. Snap! We're gonna Kelsey's back in it, back in the MMO. Oh shit!
I don't know why you said the Astron's Call, and then like hearing you explain how much you like that game when you said it, it was a heartwarming moment. It's like if the band got back together.
Yeah, the way he said, he's holding his tears back. I'll cry for you later.
It's the same as when the Fugees recently announced we're going on tour together. I was like, what?
Maybe not the same thing, Brian, but yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, he got me.
Yeah, I mean, we have over 100 people in this Discord that are going to be playing.
Nice. That's good. I mean, I've seen good reviews or positive things for New World, so.
Apparently, I think a lot of it is going to... I haven't looked into it again in forever. Like, you know, I saw it when it was first announced and was like, oh, this looks really cool. And then some friends got into some betas and we talked about it, but I haven't seen it in forever. Apparently, it's going to be super PvP based.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
It's basically like if you have your own like clan or whatever, you can take over actual server areas, and then you can get challenged by another group of people, and like it looks really cool. I've seen some streamers play it.
There's also harpoons and guns.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so I don't know exactly what this means. I have to look at it, but we're apparently we've picked out a server and we're going Syndicate.
Okay, that's one of
So
the
we're gonna be purple.
factions.
Yeah.
What color is it? Purple?
It's purple.
Purple.
Yeah. And the other
Lean Gang?
The other one's green, I think.
Oh damn. That's tough. That's a tough decision.
But yeah, like now that you're Syndicate, you can take like areas of the map as Syndicate, and then you can have wars for the territory. It's really cool looking. And then there's an actual like economy, so you can craft things in certain towns. And
can you fish?
Yes, I think you can. I think you can. And the way things level up is by using it. So like if you want to get really good with a gun, you have to use the gun. You know, Skyrim style.
Everything should be Skyrim style.
Anyway,
so I'm off Wednesday through Friday.
Ooh,
so I'll probably
he's gonna be grinding. Let's go.
We'll see how it goes. I might have to save some time to finish off Returnal.
Well, I mean, just in case, we don't know how the servers are going to be the first day. So if the first day shits itself, you can use that for Returnal.
It's not free to play, right?
No, you have to buy.
You have to buy the game. I don't think you have to pay a subscription if that's what you're asking.
It's not a monthly payment, Brian.
Yeah. The only one that still fucking does that shit is World of Warcraft
and Final Fantasy.
And but you have free to play to level 60.
You can play level 60 for free.
I'm just laughing at all the shit that's going down in Activision Blizzard.
Yep.
With them letting just sexual harassment and everything run as rampant as it was.
This could be the nail in the coffin, hopefully, for a while. I guess people are hoping for that anyway. Because Final Fantasy's already been taking people away from WoW, so.
A friend of mine just stopped playing WoW, and he's an addict, and he's like, dead game now.
Oh, shit. So I'm assuming
he's play Destiny, so.
I was going to say, he's either going to also play New World or find a different addiction.
I think he tried New World and liked it. I think he was interested in getting back into Final Fantasy, but he also really loves Destiny.
I get it. If you like the grind, and man, Destiny's got it, bro. Introduce him to Warframe, he'll love it.
Destiny right now is filling the void of what a Borderlands should be doing to me right now. So I've been enjoying it, and plus there's a lot of new content from Vanilla that I never did.
Oh, so you have a
repeater, so.
Oh, yeah. Right. The repeater usually sends you. All right.
It's been fun so far. I mean, not that I put that on the dock or anything.
All right, let me quickly get this through here. Fighting Spirit. You guys have been hearing me talk about Ippo Makanouchi on and off here as I've been watching it during my work lunch. The final season that's been aired on as an anime. The manga's still going, but the anime is only up to season 3. I finished that. Loved it. More arcs for him growing as a character. Other characters get to shine on this as well. Takamura doing some title defenses. I don't know. It just became those type of actually after what is it called, like a comfort show, like something like comfort food kind of show. I'm invested in the characters and all the stuff, and it was really cool. The season ended with backstory for the coaches, which is a really cool. Yeah, that I love that a little arc because we got to show a different time in Japan and what boxing was like back in the day, and how Japanese were looking as the Americans after the war. It was just a really cool dynamic. I'm like, okay, it had like their own little like Rocky moment, the way like the Rocky versus the Russian kind of thing.
You watched in English, right? Still even on the last season?
No, the only one that was English was the first season, unfortunately.
Oh, so
I didn't get to hear that's something I do. That's my one gripe, and that has nothing to do with the actual quality of the show. It's just they didn't have enough cash to hire English voice actors, which is a shame because I really like the English voice actors. The
flashback, the coaches, it made me laugh when I was watching my friends watch it. I kept popping in just random episodes, and I watched those flashbacks.
Yeah,
the way they would say, I forget his name, but someone's name was Miguel, and they dropped whatever accent they had and then said it like this. They go,
yeah.
Time. So that's why I jokingly just say things out of breath like that.
Oh, okay. So we got some lore. We got some Brian lore. We got some lore.
Every time they said it, I just amplified it. So then I started just going.
Yeah.
Further into it.
I think it was a really good way of. I wish that happened earlier, like some backstory for the coaches, because it ended the season that way, and I'm like, oh, I want more episodes. And well, they haven't made them, so and I've been kind of contemplating just reading ahead. But if I'm gonna read anything, I'm gonna have to read the thing that Kelsey recommended first.
Oh,
A solo leveling, yeah.
You're muted. He's muted.
I think he knows he's muted. He's just talking to someone else. All right. Where am I going with this? And that's about it. The fighting spirit was awesome. I wish they make more seasons because I really liked the boxing aspect of it. Watching the show made me appreciate boxing on like a whole different level. Like that's the new fighting game I'm playing. Is there a boxer in it? Like that's where I'm at, right? You know, because I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna hit him with the Makanauchi fucking Dempsey roll or like the Miata's counter attacks. Like everyone's got their cool shit, and I'm like, damn. Or Sendo's fucking crazy uppercut that he does from like literally breaking his back.
Did you say, Anthony, if you're gonna play the new King of Fighters? No, right?
I don't have like an attachment to King of Fighters. Like Guilty Gear I like a lot because I love what they did with the art style with the engine where they flattened the 3D models and it looks really good. So I've been just buying their games because I want more of it.
Hold on. Unless I'm ugly. Hold
on. That's physically impossible, but we can go on.
No boxer. You're right. Damn.
You just gotta give him like a quick slip and just come right back up with the uppercut.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
I was checking to see I was trying to remember if Guilty Gear had a boxer, and right now they don't. Slayer uses only knuckles. He has what Dudley has, the step back, and then from there you can bionic armor do things.
You know what does have a boxer?
What?
Street Fighter.
Yeah. Multiple.
Yeah, Balrog and Dudley, right?
Balrog, Dudley, Ed is boxer, and then
that's true.
Logan Paul, the guy they're adding.
That's
Luke.
True. Luke, that's right. What were you gonna say, Randall? Did they take it? Did they take it? Oh well.
I was gonna suggest Balrog, and then I thought maybe Brian was gonna like burst into flames, but he didn't.
No.
Well, I don't.
Because we're talking about Street Fighter, Run, and you fucking hate it now.
A friend of mine entered CEO for it, so I told him, "I want to practice whatever." I installed the game and I tried Rose. The game is still yuck, but Rose is fun, I guess.
Oh, how is Rose? I guess did you try both of her? Didn't they give everybody two V triggers or something?
V skills and V triggers. I'm never using V trigger 2 because it looks like an agent that Yoon has, and I won't be a part of that.
Oh, okay.
I tried one to teleport, and it feels cool. She feels solid. She's more fun in Alpha and Street Fighter 4, but they didn't butcher her completely in this. Like some characters that I've been waiting 3 years for.
Yeah, weird.
What about that Sagat though?
That's, yeah, the one that they butchered.
And the guy, main Alex in Third Strike, we're gonna add him, but make his legs face backwards.
I mean, it could be worse. They could have added another Goku.
I mean, you gotta count your blessings somewhere, Brian, right? Like that, he's not lying.
If you ever play that again, Anthony, you can play Hit. He's technically a boxer.
Oh, that's true.
Hit is pretty awesome.
But he's like, isn't it like too quick to be a boxer, right? Like his stuff is like he's teleporting, right? He's not really like doing boxing techniques. Right?
He doesn't actually teleport. He just freezes time and then does whatever the fuck he wants.
Gotcha. So he's Dio, fast. Is what you're saying. Jotaro. Oh, where's that fighting game at, right?
Yu kick. If they make it stop.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking we're getting too hype. We gotta move on. Fighting Spirit.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same people who made Jump Force.
I'm down. I gotta be honest with you. I need 8 with all of the characters from part 1 to 5, and then they'll add more as more parts come out. I'm down.
And it plays exactly like Jump Force?
I haven't played Jump Force, so I don't know how bad it is, but
it's terrible.
The battle arena.
He said it's terrible.
I've never played. I don't like battle arenas, but I also never played Jump Force, so I don't know if it's the pristine battle arena game, but I just know the game looks yuck, and I'm sad because they added JoJo characters to it.
Wild. All right, but that's just that. Fighting Spirit, I personally enjoy it. I like that. Definitely an anime from the 90s. What happened, Brian?
If you ever play Tekken again, that means you have to play Steve.
Yes, I know. I'm excited. I'm going to learn.
Top tier, too.
Of course. I always pick top tier.
He's not like dumb easy, though. Like
he's really hard to play.
Oh, is he? Damn it.
Well, he has all that shit.
He can dodge everything. Ooh, imagine me being nice with that. Shake my hand, bro.
I keep telling you, Anthony, if you were to dedicate yourself to a fighting game, I think if it was Tekken specifically, you'd probably be Game of the
Except
Year.
I don't like meter management, so Tekken's my avenue. That's why I slam everybody in Smash Bros. Because I don't have to worry about meter. Like I just do what I want and move on, right?
Not with that attitude.
I'm just saying, next time anyone's like, let's play Smash, I still have to make a purchase real quick.
No, you're right. I do want to play. I still haven't tried Joker yet, so I gotta try him. Because what if like legit that's my main, right? I doubt it because I have to manage. You have to manage your stand, right? Like he doesn't. You can't just
To an
use him.
extent, yeah.
Yeah. When I have Little Mac as my boxer, come on. When he just runs in there and just swings at. Come on, Randall. I know Randall likes to play Cloud, but
Sephiroth's fun.
oh yeah, you might like Sephiroth.
I didn't even know
He's
they
like a-
added him.
Yeah,
He's
they
like,
did.
He's like a Dalsum, where
Oh.
like
What?
good space control with his long ass sword,
Oh.
and he's slow. So if you do something unsafe, they run in your asshole.
Just give
I
him
heard
the
they're adding
tele-
Tifa and Barrett next.
There's only one character next. No,
Oh,
There's only
okay.
one
I'm like,
character.
what?
There's only one character left, and they're gonna announce it on the 5th, apparently.
I thought he was legit. I'm like, Tifa would be
Is
a
it
good
like
ad.
a original character or
We don't
somebody
know.
brand new?
We don't know.
They don't have original
Well,
characters. in
I
Smash.
know who it's not going to be.
Waluigi,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I use him and like anytime I can use him, I use him. Like I used him in Mario Golf. I use him in
Mario Party, I think he was part in some of the Mario Party games.
Mario Tennis. You
Yep.
know, like
Oh my god. It's because it's my fault these 9 Smashes because I only play Waluigi. That's
Oh,
my guy.
so if you had,
And then they're like, wait, who plays? They did. Oh, who? They searched me and they said, oh, he plays Waluigi. Get him out of my sight. They had him fully finished and like delete that.
It's lagging.
yeah, his
That's his
videos.
trophy.
But as long as his audio comes in at the right time, I'm cool with it.
What about this?
No, the video's it's still going. It's just out of sync, but the audio's going. So
What about that?
yeah, all right, Brian. All right, cool. I mean, I guess speaking of Nintendo, we can go through the direct, all the stuff they announced, right?
do it.
All right, just real quick, I guess. The Nintendo Direct happened last week, last Thursday, I think it was, to announce a few things. Monster Hunter Rise is getting an expansion called Sunbreak, coming out for the Switch. There's more. They showed off in more levels for the levels like boards and stuff for the next Mario Party, which brings back classic Mario Party boards. So there's 3 more that can get added.
I looked up some of the games that they had, some of the boards they had on for the original Mario Party. Oh,
They're
like
nostalgia.
played the absolute shit out of the original because it had the best games like Castaway, Grab Bag.
Yes.
There were so many. There were like they had like 100 games just in the fucking first one, and I'm like, I want that one and that one and that one. That one can fuck itself. That one and that one.
Like the masturbate. I mean, the can one that needs to go away, right? Like I don't want that one back.
Which one?
The masturbation. I mean, the soda can one. We have to shake the
can.
soda can, dude, and then whoever has the biggest water coming up wins.
I don't remember. Not in the original.
No, I mean it's one of the older ones. That's what I'm saying.
Oh no. Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it was bad. But this one, I'm definitely gonna give it a shot because it's classic boards and classic games, and those were badass. So they announced a like Final Fantasy Chocobo kart racer, which looks really cool because they're actually implementing like the spells and stuff as items, and like you can power up the spell like the fire aga, and then I forgot the 3rd level. Or wait, that was not the 3rd level. You know what I'm talking about, Kelsey? The 3 levels of things you can use that to power up the items and then use it. And I'm like, oh, it looks pretty cool. So that one I'm gonna keep my eye out on.
I'm just happy that they're going back to more of a standard Mario Party, you know, where you like roll the dice and move and collect stars and that kind of shit. Because I played one with the
co-op one. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
Bowser
about. When
one.
it's like Bowser
Yes,
versus
where you, like-
everyone, I'm like, fuck that one.
You're like on some little fucking hovercraft and
Yeah.
you just like you all move and play the game. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I
this
play
is
Mario
Party.
Mario Party is the digital monopoly. Okay, Mario Party's here to end relationships. That's what I play Mario Party for.
stealing stars and shit from people, and then being like, "I will fucking cut you tonight."
I've been alive for 25 years, and in those 25 years, I've never won in Mario Party. And the second I thought I was gonna win is during the 24-hour, and they gave Anthony a star that made no sense him having it. I almost exclusively stepped on Reds. They said, "Oh, bad luck star." Gave it to him. Remember that one.
Oh man. Sorry. And then a crazy announcement is called Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which looks like an open-ish world Mario Kirby game. Looks like in the vein of Mario Odyssey, which looks awesome. I hope it's fantastic. I'm definitely looking out to play that.
They need to confirm if there's co-op or not. When they announced
that'd
it,
be nice.
only for one frame, I was like, what if it's not? What if they give me Paper Mario again? And then this frame after that, I checked if I can pre-order, but I can't yet.
Yeah, I'd say.
For Chocobo G. Wait, which one are we?
Kirby.
Oh,
Kirby, yeah. Chocobo GP is like the kart racer with like a Final Fantasy kart racer, and then Kirby is like the new, like it looks like they're doing. That's basically our next Mario game, but with Kirby.
Yeah, it's a 3D world Kirby instead of just scrolling of the side,
which I cannot wait. They also announced, or not announced, I guess they showed off more of Splatoon 3, which looks pretty cool. I never played any of the Splatoons besides like fighting against them in Smash Bros. So I don't know much about it. So that's great that they're getting a third one because I think it actually reviewed and sold well. So we get our first. Go ahead.
Did you guys ever play Kirby Air Ride for the GameCube?
At Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
That game was awesome. I wish they'd come out with something that was like that again.
I wonder if they haven't because it hasn't sold well. Because I'm pretty sure that game was like it was. I think we also rented it, Brian. It wasn't just Best Buy. We rented it.
Like everybody talks about these racers, like Mario Kart's the best one ever, and I'm like, bitch, have you played Diddy Kong Racing? Like,
we can't.
So it's gonna be Crash Team Racing.
Yeah, we can't. Don't forget Crash Team Racing, and don't forget Diddy Kong Racing, because Diddy Kong Racing was doing wild things back in the day with the 3 different vehicles you can use, the levels designed so you can go through any. Like they were doing wild shit. That should have been remade or a sequel.
Boss races and everything, like that shit was awesome.
They had a playable character named Drumstick, and it was a chicken.
Yeah. Like at that point, you win.
I think you could play as a clock or a watch or something.
Time Wizard.
What
I called them.
And there was so much you did. Like you could do like time trials and the boss races, and then they were like for different stars, and it was like Mario 64 meets a racing game.
Yeah, and I think they also had the mirror mode too, like when Mario Kart added.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't remember. That could just be me with hope, like wishful thinking that they made a sequel, but
they're porting over F-Zero, but I'm surprised they haven't just made a new one.
I could have. They should have just made one, but here we are. Speaking of finally making a sequel, Bayonetta 3 finally got some gameplay footage, which looks fun as shit. So we get to beat the shit out of things and summon weird ass hair demons and stuff. So I'm all about it.
She has no bad outfit in 3 games, different hairstyle. Which I'm assuming hairstyle also means her clothes.
Yeah,
she's going off in every game.
Yeah, I mean because they're pretty. I'm sure the character designers are all about fashion, so they're making sure she swagged up.
I watched you play the first one. I didn't play the second one, but I want to play that in this one.
Looks fun. I mean, I don't think we're getting another Devil May Cry in a while, so that'll be our substitute for the time being. They also showed off an update coming to Mario Golf, which looks pretty cool. I still haven't even bought that, but I did want to play it because of that one mode where you can just hit it and start running towards your ball. I think that's like the greatest fucking addition they've added to golf. And then Triangle Strategy was also shown. I didn't understand anything that was going on screen, but it looked pretty. So I'm like, cool.
It's their selling point is it's like a tactics game, but you also make story decisions that affect things.
Gotcha.
So I was instantly like, give me it. So I want to play that.
Got a similar art style to
Tactics.
To Tactics, yeah.
Yeah.
I still haven't played Final Fantasy Tactics. I've played the games similar.
Yeah.
And I like those things are usually my cup of tea.
I've never played much into Tactics. I really should because everybody says that it's an amazing game. I just haven't bothered to because like the first couple of times I played it, I lost like a bunch of my characters right up front, and I was like, well, this is dumb,
Are they like Fire Emblem where character dies and then you shake their hand?
I want to say that you can choose the mode, but I don't honestly remember because it's been a while since I've played it. But I also got like a big binge on that with Disgaea. Yeah, like I played the living hell out of the original Disgaea. So
I think it's very similar to that, but I think Disgaea goes deeper with like the weapon leveling and like I don't know if you can stack in tactics, but I don't remember because it's been so long. I was a wee lad when I played it.
My whole strategy background is Fire Emblem, XCOM, Advance Wars, all that stuff, but I never really played tactics.
I still need to play the new XCOM game too.
Chimera,
the standalone XP or DLC.
Yeah, it's Chimera.
Yeah, whatever the.
What's up,
I don't remember what the hell it's called.
She has guns on her heels.
Yeah.
Chimera Squad.
You don't know anything about Bayonetta? She's like literally like death with sex appeal, right? Like that. She's walking like
she's death appeal.
She's bad bitch energy the entire time.
And she has an accent.
Randall.
Did she just change it to a dragon?
No, that's her hair.
Her outfit is her hair.
Yeah, like all of that is her hair. That has like magical properties.
She also can essentially control time.
It's cool stuff, Randall. You can play the first one to see if you'll enjoy the combat. It's like Devil May Cry. You can
I was going to say, is she more powerful than Dante?
I don't know.
I don't know
if there's a
witch.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's better or not.
But he's also like half demon, so.
But to be fair, she has 2 pistols she puts in her hands.
Yep.
And 1 in each heel.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd put my money on her winning.
Because she has more guns. Okay. All right.
Do you know if the second one is on Steam?
It's not. I only own the first one because I don't think they've ported over the second one. But again, I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I've checked. All right. What was I gonna say? I mean, that's about it. The big takeaway for me was Kirby. Bayonetta looks cool, but the Kirby game is what I'm like. Oh, thank goodness we're gonna have this coming out. I needed another like huge Switch game for me, and I think that's gonna be it.
Bayonetta 2 isn't on Steam.
Yeah, I figure.
Didn't they? I thought they released both games on something. Is it on Switch?
It might be on Switch.
Oh, okay.
If I had to guess.
So maybe. Was there a release date for Bayonetta? Do you remember?
I just said 2022. They don't have a specific date.
Maybe if I actually acknowledge the games on my backlog, and then I have some time, I'll play 2 of them before the third one or something.
Yeah, you have plenty of time.
But I am a liar, so we'll see what I actually
And you also like queuing up a bunch of JRPGs, so...
Everything on my backlog right now is nothing's less than 20 hours minimum.
Jesus, dude. I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, a lot of the JRPGs are good. I mean, that's why they're still releasing them and they're getting good reviews. So, like, I
played Final Fantasy X again recently, and I got to the very end at 40 hours, and then decided to trail off and do a bunch of the other stuff and grind to shit. And I'm at like 63 hours.
Let's go.
And I'm still nowhere near done. And I'm just like, I'm done. It's this once already. I got the PlayStation trophies. I'm done. I don't care anymore.
My last playthrough of Persona 5, where I did the base game and the DLC, it was somewhere between 150 and 200 hours. Because I was like, I'm just gonna beeline the base game because I already played it, and then I'm min-maxing my characters.
Yeah, here we are. Yeah, that's how they get you.
Like, I even played this time with the expert sphere grid, and it made literally everything 1,000 times easier, and it still took me 40 hours to get to the end.
Jeez.
I'm so behind on my backlog, Kelsey. I have the Mass Effect collection installed. I have not loaded up once.
How can you do that to Shepard? Right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I almost finished the original from the Legendary Edition, but stopped. One of my viewers popped in and said he is like 2 trophies away from 100%ing
the collection,
the Legendary Edition. Yeah.
Oh God! Well, poggers, dude. There's some rocks in the chat, and good for him. Because those were different. Because those include like beating it on Insanity, right? Like there's trophies for beating him on or not Insanity.
Yeah, I think those are the last 2. Is he just has to beat 2 and 3 on Insanity?
Yeah, that's wild.
And I'm like, why did you not just start with that?
I thought you had to unlock it.
In the original ones, in 1 and 2, you had to unlock insanity. And 3 originally, I don't remember. And then I don't know if they made things make sense and easier in the collection by just letting you do it. I don't know. I don't know what they did.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is a pretty nice looking game.
Oh, the triangle one, yeah. The tactics game. It's
I'm excited.
a lot of good assets. So
I'm excited.
all right, let's run through of some of these movies Kelsey got on here.
Yeah.
He's gonna give us our second opinion on some of these because I haven't seen Reminiscence or I have seen the Tomorrow War and Hotel Artemis.
I've seen Tomorrow War, but that's all I got.
So tell me about
Which do you want to talk about first?
Reminiscence, because Randall saw it and he recommended it. So I want to know if you recommend it as well.
Definitely recommend it. At least one watch. I mean,
Okay.
it was a really cool concept. You know, it was very Inceptionist,
Okay.
Inceptionish, because like there were certain times that you didn't know what was a dream and what was not, and you know what the hell was going on, and you're just like you're trying to piece things together, and as you watch, like there's a bunch of different twists.
Okay.
You know, like you're watching it and you think that things are going one way, and then something happens. You're like, wait, no, like really? And then you go it again, and you keep watching, and you're like, holy shit, you know. And then by the end, you're just like, man, that was a wild ride.
Okay, cool. Okay, that's good. That's 2-0, right? We can't go wrong with that. At that point, I gotta watch this now for real. All right. I mean, it
was definitely a good movie. You know, the whole cast was just incredible.
That was gonna be my follow up. Did they have any like quips back and forth dialogue? I don't know if I asked Randall this when he reviewed it.
What do you mean?
Like good back and forth with like the main character, like you know how like the Marvel movies where they have say some funny shit back and forth that's quick and they move on, or it's supposed to be like a detective kind of thing, right?
It's not really that kind of movie though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not really a detective movie. It's like he works for an organization that basically gets information out of people that won't talk by, you know, scanning their brain and doing the reminiscence.
Okay.
And you know, like his partner, and I can't remember her name for the life of me, is somebody that's just been with him since the war. What was her name? I'm gonna butcher this. Thendaway Newton.
Whoa.
Oh, Tandy Newton, isn't it?
Tandy Newton. Yeah, so Tandy Newton, plays as his partner at the business, and they have some really good back and forth between each other. Not so much comedy, but just like the dialogue between the two of them are really good.
Okay. Sweet. Cool. All right, cool. I have this in my backlog. I guess I'll bump this thing up because we do need more 2021 movies on the list. What's up?
I clicked on the page for Reminiscence, and so this looks cool. I need to see it. And I scrolled down. I saw recommendations of Green Knight, and I wanted to watch this because it seemed cool. I haven't watched it yet. I clicked it for giggles, and I see that Alicia Vikander's in it, and I'm pissed that no one told me she's in it, so now I have to watch this.
The movie Green Knight that came out this year with the red poster and I'm sorry. I knew she was in it. I didn't tell you.
And what
movie?
movie?
That when you're standing,
The Green Knight.
Just know that when you're standing, I'm gonna sweep kick you.
It's been one of those movies that people have been waiting for this year.
I'm gonna sweep the leg.
Well,
break him.
But yeah, that's definitely on my watch list too for this year. Speaking of which, yeah, you might want to check it out. It's on my backlog as well. Speaking of which, I know we still have like 2 or 3 months for this, but I figured out a way to do our collective top whatever movies and music and whatever. So I was looking at ways to make content for the YouTube channel. So I saw the website where you make tier lists, the tier creator list. Well, they also have a separate app called Bracket Fights. We can make we have our own. We can make a tournament of the things that we think should be on the top, and we'll just vote on each battle and see who makes it to the top. And we can have chat included as one vote as well. If that way we can not have ties.
That's awesome.
I mean, we can all have our own personal top 10, but for the splits for us as a collective, we'll have that.
You said for music we're doing songs, not a whole album.
Yeah, songs this year, not whole albums, because I haven't been
Wait.
putting that much time into whole albums this year.
So, as in, even our list is just songs, or just the part that we're doing the bracket.
The brackets is going to be just songs, and then for us we can do albums because I have enough for my own, but I don't think I have enough that I need to have top 10 for us as a collective. That's gonna be the thing is that I'm not gonna just add everything I watched to the brackets fight. I'm gonna put what I believe needs to be in the top 10.
Well, that's how I treat my list.
Okay.
Number 10 is the gatekeeper for greatness.
Okay, I see. Well, that's how we'll that's again. I don't know why I keep talking about it on air, but that's gonna be for a couple months, and I'll sort that out so we can have like a document of what we're throwing into the bracket.
I still need to watch more movies.
I mean, I can give you recommendations. Now, speaking of one, this weekend, one I've been waiting for. It's a Sopranos movie. The Saints of Newark comes out Friday.
It's actually tied to Sopranos?
Yeah, it's a backstory for Tony.
Didn't the Witcher movie, the animated movie, come out?
Yep, the one for Vesemir.
Yeah, and I'm hideous. I didn't even watch that.
It's animated as well.
I hate it.
I thought you liked it.
I haven't watched it yet because I thought maybe you guys wanted to watch it together.
I mean, we can if you want.
Since we've been
We
watching,
can if you want.
we've been watching The Witcher, the actual thing together.
Oh, okay. I don't know if it's connected
go.
to the live action one.
Well, I didn't know, so I didn't.
You don't have
watch
to
it.
assault the mic. It's okay.
I was in the song.
I saw you do it.
First he says he hates how I play.
Yeah.
Then he punches my mouth.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we can do that. We can watch that. All right. What were we talking about? Reminiscence. Oh, I talked about it last week, but I guess I'd give you Kelsey, we had to say goodbye to one of our beloved shows. So, I mean,
Which
9-9.
one? Oh, yes.
I talked about it last week, but you weren't here. So
I
if you want
forgot to add that in here.
Yeah.
I think
looked at
Rick or we talked about Rick and Morty. Never mind.
Yeah, Rick and Morty we talked about, but not 9-9.
And I was thinking there was one other one, and I was like, "What the hell else are we watching?" And then I remembered it's Ted Lasso, but they still have a couple episodes left in that.
Holy
many are
fuck,
left?
man! I think it's like 2 or 3 more episodes, right?
Let's see.
One of my
There are
coworkers said
2
he won.
episodes left.
Okay.
God, this season's getting. The first season was happy-go-lucky, but this one's like it's trying to stay happy-go-lucky, and reality is just pulling you down. They're doing a great job handling it.
I think my favorite part about this season is almost every new episode is the best episode of the series.
Those are the hardest facts. Like this one,
Like-
it was a knockout. It was such a great way. The great way that the bomb dropped for both Ted and what's her name,
Rebecca.
and Rebecca at the same time. That cutting in between at perfect times. I'm like, excellent.
I think the only episode that I'm like, this was definitely not the best episode of the season was the beard episode.
Oh.
Oh, you didn't like the beard one? I thought it was interesting. 'Cause
No, it's not. I'm not saying that I didn't like the episode. I'm saying that it wasn't like, holy shit, this is the best episode of the season.
Oh, it broke the combo. Yeah,
Yes.
I agree. But
apparently the beard episode and the Christmas episode were like extra episodes. They managed to get clearance for 2 episodes that aren't part of the like main plot points.
Okay.
And had some fun. But the Christmas episode was so good.
Yeah, like there's a difference because the Christmas one seemed like it was part of the main stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently Rebecca is like a professional singer.
Yes.
And
She is.
anything that she's in, she sings.
Do you know what else she was in before this?
Yeah, this is the one thing she didn't sing in.
Oh, I mean, I think she was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You know, but I haven't seen Game of Thrones.
She technically sung there.
Isn't she the one that screams shame?
Yeah. It's her.
Yeah, we were when Nick was showing me off, showing Ted Lasso to me. He was showing me off to Ted Lasso.
I'm jealous. You got to meet Jason.
He was like, he said something, and I was like, she looks really familiar. And we looked it up, and he's like, holy shit, she's from Game of Thrones. She's the one that screams shame.
Yeah. And shout out to Ted Lasso for all the Emmy wins. Dude, it's hard, and you deserved it.
She won.
She won. Jason won. The show won.
Didn't
They
Brett win?
Yeah, Brett as well. Roy. Did you hear the story how he became him? He was writing he was a writer first of the show. He still is a writer in the show. So, but he was writing Roy in a way where he's like, man, I think I'm him. So then he just like sent a tape of him playing him to like in secret. He emailed it to someone, and they were like, okay, cool, you're gonna be Roy now. So I'm like, oh, that's excellent. He wrote his character, and he's doing it.
I've wanted to watch interviews with the cast, but I've been like, I don't want to break the illusion that there are these people. So once the show ends, I'll go and see what he's like.
Oh, okay. Go for it, Kelsey.
After the podcast, I want to talk to you guys about Nate.
Yes, thank you. That one fucking scene, it was like 2 seconds, and I'm already mad. I'm like, you motherfucker. I know what you're talking about now. As soon as that happened,
there's a couple, but yes.
Okay, no, never mind. I'm thinking about like after the funeral was over.
Yeah, no, that was
okay.
Yeah,
that solidified what I think's gonna happen.
Same. I think. Yeah, we'll talk about it. I guess no spoilers afterwards, but. So yeah. We were talking about Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yeah. So I mean, if you have anything else to say about it, because I talked about it last week, but if you, I mean, our goodbye to it, I guess.
I mean, the whole everybody, putting in spoilers, everybody putting in their resignations and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Brian, take off your helmet. You take it off.
Has he not seen it?
No, I don't, because he wanted to binge it.
I'm sorry, dude. I didn't know.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I forgot to say no spoilers. You're good.
Yeah. I mean, the last 2 episodes were definitely great. The whole like throwing the party, the going away thing, and whatever. But the whole very last scene makes me think that there might be a season 9. But
I just hope yes, I wanted to, but I think they ended it really well with. I think it overstayed its welcome with that scene. I'm like, I wish it just ended, because I mean, like the talk with Peralta and Captain Holt was such a great like a good way to end it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that was really good, and I thought they was gonna end it, and then they kept going, and I'm like, okay, and then we're gonna do another heist, and I'm like, if they make a movie where it's like a heist movie, I'm down. But like another season, I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely like the whole parts of the season were interesting.
The
like
first one came out
couple of episodes
strong. Yeah, they were like very. They had some agendas,
like
right? Like there was some. They were pushing some political stuff there. So I'm like,
I feel like they were trying too hard. Like it was just kind of too in your face and not enough of, slowly moving into it. Also, Boyle's haircut annoyed me all season with whatever the fuck they were doing with this whole like, lifted thing instead of just the standard comb over, like I have, and that he had for 7 goddamn seasons.
It was weird. I don't know. Maybe he was in the middle between shooting. Like he had like another gig, and that was the hairstyle. I don't know. I guess they would have swapped it anyway. Yeah, I don't know. And then we had the normal. Hey, all the guest characters coming in each episode. Like the what was the name? PB&J. God, he was in The Office, and he's in Hot Tub Time Machine. He's like Jake's nemesis, like not nemesis, but like his friend, but he's a criminal.
Oh, you're talking about the Pontiac Bandit?
Yeah.
I don't actually know his name.
Teddy? No, Sonny?
Hang on. I'll
Judy.
just look it up.
It's Judy.
Yeah, Judy.
That episode.
But I don't remember his like real name.
Oh no.
So yeah, I mean the whole thing was a great going away gift.
Yeah, it definitely was. I enjoyed it. They ended it really well. They had the emotional highs, the hilarious, highs as well. Could not have. I was satisfied, and having what's in Dr. Cox in there, hilarious. He had. I mean, obviously he played a character in a way he had too much fun with. But anyway, that's that.
I feel like his character was kind of the epitome of what is really going on with like the police force and things.
Yeah.
It's like how they
sweep shit under the rug and like
they can't do any wrong, all this shit, and it's just like there needs to be some sort of reform. Like this is just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. He was a comedic. He's like the over the top comedic version of that. Which actually, it might not even be the over the top. It might be exactly what's happening. The conversations that are happening anyway. I don't know. I definitely recommend it again. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. There's a great last season. If you enjoyed any of the previous season, go do yourself a favor and then check this out. That's it. I guess we're not gonna speak.
Well, hopefully I didn't spoil too much for Brian.
All you said was resignation. Like he doesn't know who and he doesn't know why.
Yeah.
Like he'll be fine. And that's not really like the big part of the whole season anyway. Like
No.
But he definitely needs to go watch that as well. He's doing something.
He does.
All right. All right. Sorry.
I tried to preface it with spoilers, and I guess I just didn't give enough time for him to take his headphones off, but I thought he had already seen it.
No, he's behind on a lot. I mean, his backlog's huge, and I've been telling him for how many months now to watch Inside. Still hasn't seen it. Anywho, we can keep it moving though. I left off on Reminiscence on your list, right?
Right.
Oh, tell me about Jack J.K. Simmons, right? In the Tomorrow War, right?
Dude, he is jacked. Like, people keep posting, about doing a live action version of Incredible or Invincible, and
he can do
they're
it.
like, they're like, we should have John Hamm play
Omni-Man.
Yeah, and I'm like, have you seen J.K. Simmons? Like,
yeah,
like I literally wanted to post a picture of him from Spider-Man. He as
Jonas
JJ
Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, and I'm like, he literally looks like Omni-Man. He's got the mustache. He's got the hair.
He has the same haircut. And I think they used you. Oh wait, hold on. Did you watch all the Spider-Mans? I thought you did.
Yes.
And you saw him at the end.
Where he's in the.
And within a year that movie came out, and he looks still the same way as as Jameson. So why not just use him?
Dude, he doesn't play a huge part in the Tomorrow War, like at least like up to a certain point. But I wish they had used him a little bit more. But dude, he's just.
I don't know if it was for this movie or he has something else coming up where he's just gonna be like clotheslining everybody. But he's been keeping good shape, bro.
So yeah, I mean, the Tomorrow War was awesome. The premise behind it was really cool.
Yeah.
Like I love time travel stuff and timelines and that kind of stuff. You've seen it, right?
Yes, we've all seen it. I think Brian did too.
All right, because I want to talk about some of the things there that it's like. First of all, when the thing's gonna happen.
Yep.
Why would you not already start building better weapons and then sending people into the future with better fucking weapons?
I didn't understand that either. Like, why was the rush to go stop them now? Like, as if the past was going to get erased. Like, I would imagine you would build... But I would imagine you don't even have to send people in the future. Just you come back, warn them. You know what their battle tactics are. You know what type of weaponry they're using. So I don't know why they didn't just prepare.
No, I'm assuming that the reason they didn't, because I think they said that they could only send things 30 years into the future.
Right.
Which means that every day that passed, there was one less day that people were going to be alive if they sent somebody to the future. So I think they rushed to try and help them so that they could ensure.
Let's make sure Brian didn't hear. Let's just make sure. Go put it on.
Yeah.
Put it on. We gotta ask you a question. Put it on, bro. I'm gonna slap him in the butt. Hello? Did you confirm, Brian? You saw Tomorrow War?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I think the reason they didn't because I thought there was 2 years between when the people came back and when he got sent forward.
Mm-hmm.
Like there were 2 or 3 years in there. I don't know why they didn't do something to advance technology enough that they could, send them with better weapons.
Because I think they came back with advanced weaponry too, right? When they first came back, I thought they had stuff that we didn't have yet.
I don't honestly remember. But I want to say there was something that was there, that we didn't have.
They brought back tech. I don't know about weapons because remember when they were seeing who's eligible to be sent, they put them in the "when are you gonna die" machine.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
And then was the other thing, him trying to like save everybody. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand the need, the want to like save everybody, but that fat fuck was not going to make it as soon as he fell through.
Yeah.
Like, should have just been like, sorry, dude, here's a grenade. Go out on your own terms. Take some stuff with you. We'll see you later. And like, it sounds morbid and whatever, but like when it's survival of the fittest and you're clearly not the fittest, you got to do what you got to do.
Should have done some squats beforehand, huh?
Yeah, the life of one versus the life of men. You gotta choose.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. This is the Vision versus Captain America thing. Oh, we don't leave no one behind. Vision knows. All right, Vision knows. We got to leave some people behind, right?
Yeah.
We do not trade lives, Captain. Yes, we do. We do, right? Randall, I'm looking for you so you can be like, yes, Anthony. You're right.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, well, here we are. But I thought it was, I would have done the same thing. I would have been like, here's 2 grenades. Like, throw one first and then hold the last one or something and then keep it moving. But like, we have like 7 other people here and then more died trying to save him. Like,
And then the woman that was like trying to help out, and she's literally like standing out in the middle of the open,
yeah.
and then gets shot with the spikes, and it's like, what the fuck did you think was going to happen here? Like, it would take 3 or 4 of the guys to carry that one dude, to out of the wherever they were, and then that would have slowed them down enough that they would never have made it out.
Yeah, and they were like in a tunnel or something. Like when he fell through, it was like some sort of tunnel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were in like an underpass or something.
They were trapped. Like they needed to get, I don't know.
I wouldn't have sent him to begin with.
And that too.
I didn't hear what he said.
He said he wouldn't have sent them to begin with.
Yeah, like I understand the need for troops, but you should have people that are
capable.
So like we have a couple of people that are at the gym that are not athletic at all.
Right.
Like, it's good that they're there because they're trying to improve themselves, but like you look at somebody and you're like, that person's never played any sort of sports or run or done probably anything except for sit on the couch or worked as a desk jockey for some business firm.
Right.
Like, that's it.
Like, what's the term?
Like, those are the people
sedentary? What's the term? It's
yes.
like sedentary work or something. Go ahead.
Yes, those are not people that you should be sending into the front lines to fight a war. Like, regardless of how badly you need able bodies. If they're going to have to do any sort of moving, running, jumping, anything, those people are. They're literally just cannon fodder. Like, and they're not even going to be able to like do anything before they die.
Or they'll become liabilities to the rest of the team. Like exactly. What happened.
They ended up losing like 2 or 3 other members because of him.
Mm-hmm. And also a bad call on Pratt's ball. On Pratt's, like, again, you want to be the leader and not leave people behind, but you also got to think logically here, right?
Yes. So, I don't know. The movie itself was incredible. I loved.
Really cool action movie, man.
Yes, it was really, really interesting with the way that they played out the story, with the timelines and things. The whole him like be like, I'm gonna come back for you, bitch. Fix the past, and you won't have to come back. Like, that's how this works. That is. You change the timeline, and then you're never here. Like, she doesn't exist. It gets erased. It just moves on. You know. And it's like, she gets stabbed and she's like, I was never going to survive. Like, we knew this, and then she like falls off and he jumps after her. I was like, you almost ruined
everything.
Humanity's chance at surviving for something that's never going to happen or exist anymore.
You're piecing out? What's going on?
No, I'm just in agreement with Kelsey. That's the second time that Peter Quill
fucked us over. Yeah. Because remember, he played Peter Quill in Avengers, and he just decided to not help out pulling the glove off.
No, that's not the part that offends me.
Oh, here we go.
Someone tells you your girlfriend murdered her. I need her for the soul stone. You have guns in hand. Melee him.
Like, why would you not put the right there and just pull the trigger a bunch of times? Like, he literally can't do anything. Just shove it like straight into the back of his throat and start pulling the trigger.
2 guns, throat, arm. That way, things off and he's off. But no,
or
butt him with the gun.
Or get the glove off, pick up the fucking Infinity Stone, and because you've already done it once, and start just hammering the fuck out of him.
That's fucking true. He's half god.
Put the Power Stone in the gun, one shot him.
Or half planet, I guess. That's wild. Yeah.
Celestial, isn't it?
Yeah, he's half a because of his dad. Anywho, what was I gonna say? Yeah, the him diving off the girl. I'm like, this is not needed. Like, they wanted like some dramatic moment. I'm like, if you knew about time travel, this is not like they're trying to make it dramatic. But in the back of my head, I'm like, this is worthless. You're doing this for no reason. Just go, leave, please.
Yes.
And just ruined that entire scene. It's like we know how time travel works. Like, we don't need this scene.
He needs to be in the movie.
Who does? Kelsey?
No.
I would love to just be the voice of reason.
Chris Pratt needs to be in a movie that's not Marvel related or related to Tomorrow World.
Okay.
War. And he needs to be going into like a similar situation, and then there needs to be another character that goes up after they discuss the plan. He goes directly up to Chris Pratt's character and says, "If you do anything to jeopardize this mission for your own personal gain, I'll kill you myself."
Yep. He's gonna be like, "Where did that come from?"
Yeah.
He's gonna be like,
but the audience, everybody watching will know.
They're like, "Yeah, tell that fucker right there." All right. We lost Iron Man because of him. Spoilers.
So yeah, and I was a little disappointed they didn't utilize J.K. Simmons' character more, because he had such a small part, and like I get it, but it's like first of all, it's fucking J.K. Simmons,
and they could have
amazing.
Yeah, but they could have used him as the father-son like chemistry in the future or something. Like, he could have sacrificed himself or some shit. Like, like they could have made amends.
Yes, he could have been there, done something. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm sure he probably, as soon as it started, he probably like went to try and do something, and it ended. But although it was 30 years into the future, so it's more likely that he just wasn't around.
That's true.
But it would have been cooler to him being like 80 or 90 years old, being like leading troops or like giving advice or something, because he can't physically do anything anymore, like something.
Yeah, that would have been dope.
And then they had the poison. They had the poison to kill them.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're going to inject each one of these pods, thinking that was only those like 10 or 15 that were there.
Yeah.
Why not just blow the fucking ship to start with? Like, nothing's happening. Go plant the fucking C4 and just walk away. Like, everybody would have survived.
Yep.
And it would have fixed all the problems. You literally just plant it here. Okay. Who wants beers? On me. You got this.
But Kelsey, then we wouldn't have that dramatic scene of the daughter dying. Because that mattered. Not the daughter. I'm sorry. It was after. Was it after?
Yeah.
When he's talking about when the movie becomes Ocean's 11 movie.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Where they break into Russia and then find the ship that's carrying all of the aliens.
Oh, right.
And they're like, okay, guys, let's do this. And then they stick the stuff in and they start screaming. It's like, you knew that was going to happen. That fucking happened when they did it, in the future. Like, and what happened? She screamed, and then everything came. What are we doing here?
It would have been the craziest explosion. I would have melted all of it. Like, it would have been like, throw it and close all the doors and just watched.
You know what bothered me about that whole part that Kelsey's talking about? Is that
besides what he just mentioned, that they could have just killed them all?
Well, even before that, it's just the fact that you have these people come from the future. So, first of all, you're like, what the heck? And they're telling you that they need to...
If they come from the future, I'm like, That's normal. I knew time travel was gonna be possible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for the day.
And
Ryan's
then
a time traveler,
they
remember?
explain the situation so everyone knows, including the government. But then you have this guy come back from the future with the solution and says, this is how we're supposed to kill them. And then he says he knows where they're at, but the government's like, nah, we're not going to help you. We're not going to send everything we have to this one location where they're possibly going to be at. Instead, him and his squad of Ocean 11 friends have to go by themselves. Like, that made no sense to me.
What are you talking about, Randall? They can't jeopardize human lives.
They could have took the entire army.
No, Randall, that's taxpayers' money. We'll decide what we need to be doing. All right.
The problem with that though is that there was a bunch of tension, with people storming the streets and being, upset about what's going on, and then like Russia was in lockdown and shooting everybody. If the U.S. government was like, "Hey, we're gonna invade Russia on the hunch that this thing is here," probably not gonna go over very well.
I mean, they could have just had a conversation and like, look, we need to send a recon team out there just to check. And if we can confirm that said thing is there, then we need to.
Randall, see, you already made your first mistake.
What?
Let's have a conversation. We don't do that. We got guns, Randall. We don't need to talk. All right?
This is why they were in the situation they were in.
I mean, you're not wrong, but that's where we're at, Randall. We're not going to have a conversation. They're tense, They think they might be lying. The Russians are going to be like, hey, you're lying. You just want to get in here. And then what happens?
People came through a portal. That's what I'm like. People came through a portal from the future. Why would I be lying?
Maybe we lost in the future as Russians, and now we're gonna stop that from happening.
I mean, they did lose as Russians. Like they were the first ones to get wiped out.
So that's why they were probably like, hey, maybe they're lying to us, and because we let them come in, we lose. Right? They don't know. They told themselves anything, right? I would imagine.
Like, if nothing else, they could have if Grandpa can get in there undetected and do whatever the fuck they want, they for sure could have sent in, fucking SEAL Team 6, found it, been like, yeah, it's here, had another SEAL Team 6, or SEAL Team 5 or whatever it is,
they could
like go in and be like, here is 4,000 pounds of C4. Let's blow this bitch, okay? And then just hey, who wants beers? Let's go.
SEAL Team 6 would have been there with the C4 before confirming, blew it up, and then they opened, and in the chopper that they came in, already had the beers. They didn't have to go anywhere. They right there as it's exploding, they would have drank it.
You would have seen the helicopter. You don't have to zoom in. You see the helicopter, and you see someone do this motion. And then that's how you...
And that's how it ends. And then credits afterwards.
You just get the, just...
Yeah.
And that's it. Then they just walk away.
And it's over. Like, it is...
Arnold Schwarzenegger makes an appearance. Get to the chopper, and then that's it. They go home.
And then him and Vin Diesel up there drinking Coronas, right? Anywho, but yeah, I'm solid action movie. I'm assuming you recommend it as well.
Oh, I totally recommend it. I thought it was great. That one in Reminiscence, it was getting a lot of hate on.
Oh, it was like bad reviews.
And yeah, like it was. Let me pull it up real quick. So Reminiscence got, it only got a 5.9 on IMDb.
What about RT?
That's what I'm looking for.
That's weird.
I mean, I didn't.
It's not weird because everyone's a professional.
Everyone's a professional? What does that mean?
Yeah, so Reminiscence got a 37 and a 38.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then the Tomorrow. Here it is. 52 and 77. So the audience definitely rated it better, but it just got hit. Both of them got kind of hammered with some of the stuff that was going on. Speaking of hammered, Yvonne, whatever her name is, Strosky,
Strahovski,
yes,
still
Miranda.
Gorgeous.
Yep. Say less, fam.
That's 3 times already in this podcast.
Yeah, that he said it. He just says who to important people, right?
Okay. Who?
Has he not seen Chuck?
I don't think he's seen Chuck, but you probably like Chuck actually, the TV show. You've watched some of those episodes with me.
Chuck, is that the dude that kills bad people?
Whoa, no, he's like he gets like digitally becomes a spy because he like he knows how to do spy stuff, and his sister was like hot, and you were like, oh, his sister was good, and she was like a nurse.
Let me use Google.
Yeah, once he sees it, he's seen random episodes with me. Back when I was still living in a mom's apartment.
Chuck.
Chuck.
Is that long ago?
Yeah. You like if you sounds like you forgot what it is, so you can probably just watch from the beginning, enjoy it. All right, well, I guess while you guys are doing that, while you're looking through that, Brian, you finished another Metroidvania.
Technically, yeah.
The blonde girl. That's what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Right back, guys.
Yeah. Go for it, Brian. Ender Lilies. Lilies,
Sure.
if you will.
I put the specific ending because I think that's the easiest ending to get to, and I didn't realize that that was the ending. So I finished the game and I'm moving on. I'll do the rest of it on the side if I care, but
You have too much to do.
Metroidvania, reviews were overwhelming. I don't know if they still are. And
As in positive or
positive.
okay.
It's different in the sense that it has Souls aspects. Like you die, you come back at a checkpoint.
Okay.
You pick up these things and you upgrade. You don't use weapons. You use souls of people. You essentially call assists for attacks.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So you have a
so-
limited amount of attack then, so you can run out of
Depends on-
souls.
Some of the main souls are you can keep using. The other ones
I see.
have a limit.
Okay.
Um,
Sorry, a numbered limit or like a cooldown
Number.
limit? Okay.
the uses.
Uses.
Just
Okay.
cooldowns and uses.
Okay.
The story I don't really remember too much of. They do storytelling like the Souls games kind of do, where you get
Bits and
basic
pieces.
plot points within the show, and then the rest in the show within the game, and then the rest of it's like picking up stuff and reading it, or just exploring. So I don't remember, I can't really speak on the story too much because I don't remember.
Okay.
The aesthetic is also it looks. I don't know how to explain. The visual looks like something I've seen in a Flash game in terms of the way that things animate.
From the small
it's
things
still-
I've seen, it looks like anime Souls. Like if they have the aesthetic, not aesthetic, the timepiece or the time period of Dark Souls, but they drew it in anime. From what
Yeah,
I saw,
I guess, yeah.
because the main
That's pretty accurate.
character looks like she's anime-ish.
Like, but the way she's animated looks
Oh, I see.
like a Flash game kind of.
We're like,
That-
okay,
I mean, that being said, just the movement looks weird. The sprites themselves they're pretty.
okay,
I don't remember the story besides she's a priestess that woke up and she's got to rid the world of the blight.
okay.
And
So
all
she's a
the
white
souls that
mage
you pick
then,
up-
of some sort.
all the souls you pick up are souls you've purified the blight of, and then you take them with you.
Oh, okay.
All I can really say story-wise, gameplay's fun.
Combat's
It's
fun.
not as combat's fun. It's not as quick as it's not as fast paced as like a Metroidvania game, like a
Chasm.
like a Castlevania or Chasm. Yeah. There's the one that I always recommend to people. Baldur's Story, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, the animated one.
Where that
Where
was
they look like
essentially a
chibis.
fucking fighting game essentially. But
Okay.
it still feels good. Only complaint gameplay wise is she thinks it's so funny to grab onto stuff when I don't want to grab stuff. And there's times when my forehead, I'm not gonna grab it.
Ooh, that's infuriating.
So I found that disrespectful.
I mean, it was that way in Smash Brothers when we used to play. Besides,
That-
like creating.
Yeah, when you spawn
Geometry.
fucking level, you spawn level parts so you can do some crazy ass fucking angular division.
Yeah. Yeah, gameplay feels good. Soundtrack sounds pretty, but every song they put within the areas sounds like it's missing an instrument. Like the audio feels like it's missing something.
And you sure it's not like a setting in the?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember there being a setting, but like it feels like a concept. Sounds pretty, but there needs to be something in there.
Okay.
The attack sounds don't really feel like they have that oomph. Like it's, hey, slash, okay, and then we'll come back to it, is what it felt like. But I've heard worse things. But I
Okay.
guess that's just more nitpicking.
There's no like when you punch someone, it doesn't feel like damn that man got punched and you heard him get punched.
Yeah, not really. I mean, you're looking at the damage numbers, like, oh shit, that hurt.
Oh, so it's okay.
Um,
But it doesn't look or sound like he got hit that badly.
yeah, like there's one soul that's a big ass Viking that you see his hits are slow, so you see him do the wind up, but you don't. I didn't personally feel it. I just know it's gonna do damage.
I got it.
Uh, that's the worlds look pretty. The areas, they do something different in terms of the map, where if you're in a room that has a potential door, like, oh, there's a route you didn't go, it'll show a red circle on that room.
Okay.
Um,
So it's easy to at a quick glance see where you need to go
Yeah.
or haven't
if
explored.
you've picked up everything within a room, it's yellow instead of blue.
Oh, okay. That's nice. It's like the Resident Evil thing, or Resident Evil 2, where if
Okay.
you cleared a room, it would be like it'll just gray out. Like, oh,
Yeah,
you're done in
so-
this room.
I liked
remake
how
anyway.
they did that.
Yep, it helps for people like myself who's just check mark. All right, move on. Next.
It seems like there's a lot of things you can backtrack. And for Metroidvania, I didn't, because I walked into a room that I didn't know I wasn't supposed to, and then I talked to a lady, and then it said you got an ending.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
But it seems like there's a lot of stuff to go back and start backtracking, things like that, which is a plus. I don't remember if I hated any boss fights. Sometimes I was annoyed by them, but there wasn't anything gameplay wise where I'm like, fix this or you're dead to me.
Okay.
There's like maybe annoyances, but
There's nothing that popped out. Like, there's no boss battle where you're like, oh, this boss battle. Like, you're not gonna remember any of these boss battles like you remember the Valkyries in God of War.
yeah, no. One complaint, I don't remember if each boss fight had this, like the main boss fights, multi-stage fights.
Gosh, man, I really don't like multi-stage fights.
And this was one of the ones where it's not like, hey, I'm not taking damage. But they have the I'm not taking damage, and then they move on into the phase. There's one, you drain the health bar, and it's like, I'm aggro now, and then it's another fight, and then full health bar again.
I'm cool on that, man.
That to me is just lazy boss fights. Besides that, fighting them wasn't like, yo, this is bullshit. Like, oh, they're gonna try to zone you.
Yeah.
You can roll through them. You can jump over them. Later on, you get the ability to just parry them. As in, like, oh, you won't take damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really about it. I enjoy the game. I want to go back and collect everything because that's one of the most fun parts about Metroidvania games.
Yeah, but
I don't know if I will. Just
You're
because I have so
literally
many things
getting a Metroid game now
Yeah.
in like a week. So,
in 2 weeks.
oh, it's 2 weeks. I thought it was next week.
It's the 8th.
Oh, okay. So in 2 weeks, yeah.
So next week, yeah. But I recommend it. You like Metroidvanias? Try it. If you like splashes of Souls games,
Mm-hmm.
try it. If you want to sink a bunch of time into it, let's say you game on a budget and you want something that'll last, it seems like you will have enough time to go back and collect things before your next game.
Speaking of budget, how much is it?
I think it was $20. Let me look at Steam.
That's not
It
bad.
wasn't $60.
$20 for a Metroidvania. How many hours did you put into it? Like 10?
Let me see.
Okay.
I did not install it.
I mean, that's
But
usually a good
normally I
sign.
uninstall these games.
I looked up
And
Returnal.
Lilies.
I've only got 13 hours.
Oh, I only have 7 hours. 7.7 hours in this game.
Okay. I told Kelsey
And
it's going to be lower than 15. I'm like, the runs are long, but if you only did like 10 max, that's no way.
How many hours did you have?
He's got 13.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's what I'm saying.
pretty
15,
good,
I mean,
actually.
granted, they're really close, but if he's out here bodying them and skipping stages, there's no way. It's
And
going to
Lilies
be.
is $25.
Okay, that's not bad for Metroidvania, right?
And accidentally beating it took me almost 8 hours.
Okay.
With a lot of stuff I didn't do.
I was going to say, I hope that the side stuff will fill up more hours, though, because 8 hours
Most
for...
likely. There's a bunch of rooms I didn't get to, and then there's even then, like the rooms that I've been to, there's a lot that I didn't finish out.
Uh-huh.
And then because I went to accidentally did the quicker ending, there's other places I haven't been to yet. So there's even more rooms of things to do.
Okay.
That's about it. It does overwhelming reviews. I'm looking at the Steam page. I like this.
Positive.
Yeah, positive.
Okay.
Overwhelming. I forget that you can have negative. You think it'd be like horrendously negative or something.
Yeah, but it's overwhelmingly negative.
Appallingly negative, which should have been what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed the game. Recommend it. If you like Metroidvanias, go for it. Splash of Souls games. You want ball on a budget, $25 for probably above 10 hours if you do everything. Probably 20 hours, maybe. I don't know. I don't know you.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to go back, like, from things released 2021 and then go backwards. So I'll get back to Kelsey in a bit. Watch Dogs Legion. I finally got through it. A third Watch Dogs game in the series. You're in London. Fucking London. The game's... You're basically DedSec that got framed for doing a bombing, and now you're trying to clear name and bring back DedSec and find out who actually did the bombings in London. Plays a lot like the previous Watch Dogs, where you can hack almost everything. The new feature in this one is that you can recruit and play as anyone in the world. Any NPC that you see, you can go up to them and start a recruitment process, and then play as that person. Each person has their own equipment, like special equipment or perks that gets. It's like they randomly generate the character. So some of them, this person will be able to get out of can get your fellow people out of jail. This guy comes with a silenced weapon. This guy can what is it? If he gets drunk, he does more damage. This one takes less damage because there's 30 person or whatever the case is. Like, everyone has like a random trait that they get assigned, and then you get to play them.
But how many non-old people did you recruit?
A lot, unfortunately. My biggest gripe with this game is the cool feature they added. So yes, you can recruit anyone, but the game you don't need to. Like, you pick one or two people, and yes, you can level up and get skill points, and then you unlock like skills and like an upgraded spider bot, or now you can hack this, and now you can hack this upgrades that's given globally to all the people you have in your squad. And I think that breaks the game. We're into a point where now your cool new feature of being able to recruit people is worthless to me, because now I'm just gonna have everyone with this same loadout because you let me upgrade, and now I have it globally. So I always walked around with a non-lethal pistol that was silenced because I maxed it out. A spider bot that can double jump and go and take down people like from behind, like an assassination. And I can get through almost anything with that. And then I just kept upgrading what I'm able to hack and like disable. And now the people walking around the world aren't special to me anymore, because I don't need them to get into anywhere. Which I wish they like quadrupled down on that, and they didn't give me any skill points, and just had literally be the people around in London be my specialty. Like, I needed somebody who has a spider bot. Let me go look for someone who does. Or
yeah, it sounds like they kind of dropped the ball with that.
Yeah, like
I think it would have been better if they like made it so that you specifically needed like a certain number of people with certain traits.
Yeah,
to go do stuff.
Or this guy,
or made it so that you could have up to 5 or 6 people, and then there were like bonuses if you could do the whole thing like with only 2 instead.
Exactly. Like having someone like, oh, he specializes in hacking or specializes in specific drones. So if I use him, he can hack this type of drone or something like that. I think would have made the moment to moment much more special. It gives each of the NPCs life that you can recruit, and like, this one drives this type of car, so he can be my getaway driver. But it just became, here's my loadout, and it doesn't matter who I was using, because they were just all faceless people who had traits that I don't really give a shit about. Because all of the stuff that I do give a shit about was global for everyone. So that was a huge letdown.
Turn off.
Yeah, so like, if they do make a sequel to this, which I wish they do, because it's a really good premise, having just literally anyone in the world be able to be recruited. If you just quadruple down on that and just keep any features and stuff tied to the people, that would be great. But besides that, I mean, it was fun. Open world, checkbox games if you want to get a bunch of upgrades. The story was okay. The one or two plot twists were like, okay, that you didn't have many options. Like, oh, who could have done the bombing, right? Someone in the chat says, could you have forced yourself to play with different characters with different skills and things if you wanted to? Maybe play in more role play way, or is the only option the way you played? I could do that, but I could have role played in that way, and I just stuck with some characters because I like the accent. So like I stuck with the old lady because she always made like tit jokes, and she's old. So, but that's about it. I rather prefer the game be designed to pick different people because yes, I can role play, but that's not going to be like why I got the game. The point is, oh, I can recruit anyone. Cool. Like let that be beneficial or necessary to progress. That way you have to think about who you're going to bring into whatever mission or whatever op or whatever the case is. Like that to me, that's the game designers. That's what they're supposed to do, is make me want to pick every other people. But they made it so I don't need to. So why would I? Right? I don't know. I know it sounds weird, but I don't know what other, like, I guess Metroidvania is like, you can't get to a certain area. That means you need to go get the upgrade so you can come back and go up there. Like that, it's designed for you to do it. And granted, you can just skip it and never get those extra stuff, but the game, you unlock it by playing the game how you're supposed to. Exploring rewards you in some way, and now you can access things that you shouldn't before. Even if I explored in Watch Dogs, I'm like, oh, that's a different trait. It does nothing. And from the skill points tab that you got, I can access everything in the game regardless of who I'm using. I just have to equip whatever gadget I need, and that's kind of counterproductive to what you wanted to sell me, right? Like the point is, oh, everyone's unique and they have different traits, but those traits need to be worth something.
So it's like somebody dropped the ball again.
It happens. Like this is Deathloop all over again. They just needed to go further in, right? Like they needed to dive further, and they played it safe in a way where I'm like, okay, well now it's just you're just playing an old Watch Dogs game.
Yeah, I feel like them giving you the global kind of ruined it.
Yeah,
because it's like it really is at the point. It's like, well, why would I get anything else? Like,
once
even if you went and collected other people just to try them out, it's like you don't need those people.
Nope.
You have their global abilities.
Yeah. Once I maxed out, hey, there's some drones that are like military grade that shoot like shotguns and exploding. Once I leveled up the global skill point that I can disable those on one button, and anybody I picked can do that, at that point I'm like, who cares? Like they're all just skins. I'm walking around in skins and different voice actors. Mm-hmm. They're not special anymore to me. They didn't have backstory to begin with, but we could have made those backstories if they were that special. Like, oh, we went on this mission with this person, but I'm like, I could have gone on that mission with anybody else. I didn't need anybody in particular. And now that's like the biggest gripe. So I hope they quadruple down on it if they do make a sequel. What happened? Oh, that's that. It seems like they just played it safe there. But all in all, it's a typical Ubisoft open world, super detailed environment. The ragdoll physics great every time you do something messed up. The hacking's cool. Like you can hack like some drones that can levitate you, but like take you in places that you can't reach. Some of the puzzles are okay. Like it's like matching lines and trying to figure out how to get some things to get lined up correctly so power goes through or a connection gets through. Nothing too difficult, but nothing too like this is boring in terms of the puzzles. So all in all, it's just very safe. Like the biggest thing.
I feel like that's the way all of them have been, though. Like they haven't, like the hacking thing in the first one even was like, they made it seem like you could do a lot more during the demos and the trailers and things, and then you got into it, and it was like, so you just solve a puzzle by doing these things, okay? And you don't even like get to really utilize anything. And then I don't remember that much.
And two, they give you a lot more gadgets in the second one, where we're like cool gadgets. The problem with Watch Dogs up to this point is that they give you cool shit that you can do, but in real world playing the game moment to moment, you don't need it.
Yes.
That's the problem. Like, oh, you can bring up barricades if you're in a chase. I was in like 2 chases, right? And I didn't even need to put up the barricades. And if a drone is something that's following me, I just look over them and deactivate it because I've already leveled up so much. And I'm like, okay.
You could put people to sleep in 2. You could put people to sleep, and it was just like, that's all you had to do. You walked around and you put people to sleep, and then you finish the mission.
And you're free to hack anything, to just go do whatever. So it's like, okay. And it's just that. It's just that you can do a lot, but do you need to do it? It's not designed around you needing to do all these different things of the hacking. And that's what's like, okay, well then we're gonna make it really easy, and that's what's gonna make it boring. Like, so if I'm telling you, if that tab where it said skills was not there and they just used all of those as other traits, excellent. This game would have been another level of, okay, now we need to actually use other people. But there's a feedback Ubisoft free. You don't have to charge. I'm not charging you anything, so your next one's gonna be a banger. You're welcome. That's all I got for Watch Dogs. I enjoyed my time with it. I still have a bunch of.
I would have come up with a new IP when I can just release a sequel.
Boom! Exactly. Exactly. Right.
Like, it's one thing though when they like release it, when the first one is so well
received or reviewed or sold well, like it's easy to just be like, oh, let's make a 2.
That they're like, because like look at Assassin's Creed. The first one, incredible. Like the story, everything was awesome. The second one, they were like, we're gonna improve it. We're gonna make it even better with a new story and a new time. Like, even though it was a sequel, it like continued the story, and then 2, 3 kept going on top of it, and it was just more and more incredible every time they released it, and then it just fucking plummeted. In my opinion.
What was I gonna say?
There's
not many games that can do that. Like the jump from Little Big Planet 1 to 2 was just like that, where it makes the first one look like a beta. And that's what Assassin's Creed 2 did. The first, when you played Assassin's Creed 2, you're like, that's first Assassin's Creed was just like a beta for this.
Yes.
And then
like it was cool to get the story and the backstory and the timeline going.
But then of mechanics,
the 2 was like, oof. I don't need anything else.
Yeah. And there's not that many games that do that when the sequel comes out, so it's tough to do. Like, I'm not scared, but I'm like, what is Hades doing now, right? Like, now that they've released Hades, I'm like, oh my god, maybe expansion, or like maybe just, I don't know, maybe new weapons, DLC. Where do they go from here?
I'm hoping for it, because story-wise, they can do a lot still. They left it open-ended to an extent.
What if co-op and somebody gets to play as Thanatos?
Have Hades 2, and it's going to be focused on his son, Marv.
Yes, I'm playing it.
Did Supergiants never release DLC for any of their games like that too? So I'm wondering if that's on purpose, or like this sold so much and it's finally on every console as of like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Is this when we
maybe? I mean, all that I need them to do is co-op. Somebody plays as Thanatos, and we're done. Right. Anywho, that's that. That's Watch Dogs. Again, if you enjoyed the previous ones, you'll love this one. It's just my biggest gripe is the cool new feature they added could have been removed, and because of having the skills, because that kind of defeats the purpose. And I'm done with my list. Kelsey.
What's up?
Hotel Artemis.
Yes.
Randall gave this a review, and I think he also enjoyed it as well.
I've never seen that movie.
What? Really? Hotel Artemis, Randall. If I go right now on my YouTube and I search for that on my channel, and an episode of this podcast comes up, we're fighting.
No,
you know that, right?
Means that you spoke to a variant.
All right. I'm gonna go check right now. Go ahead, Kelsey. Tell me about Hotel Artemis before.
I'm excited for this. I'm more waiting to find out if it's actually on your channel. It could have. I mean, because you upload everything to YouTube regardless of when you were on Twitch, right?
Correct.
Do you tag it with
Why
everything
don't
that
you
we
just
talked
look through the
about?
doc?
I tag everything that we talk about. That's how I look it up.
Why don't you just look through the doc?
Because it doesn't. I don't think it has.
You could just type in the name and see if it comes up somewhere else. That's what you usually do.
Episode 17. Yeah, someone did, because Hotel Artemis is on episode 17 of this podcast.
So who?
No, that was before we had our names underneath. Someone talked about it. It's the same day someone talked about the American season 3, which probably was Brian.
Wasn't me. Because
I
I don't even know what that movie is.
Have you seen Hotel Artemis, Bryant?
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is
Okay,
either.
well then I'll just review it like nobody's seen it,
Okay.
and then one of them is gonna pop up and be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that movie."
Yeah, I have no problem with admitting that if I saw it, but I did.
Anthony?
Say again, Brian?
The doc isn't labeled at that point?
We this is the time before where I just grouped them up by what type of media it was, like movies, TV, music, and games.
Oh.
It wasn't under our names. We've been through a lot. This podcast has been, you know what I'm saying? We've gone through some changes. Yeah, it's episode 17.
It's so hard to believe that we used to do it like that. So how did we know who was talking about what?
No, you should be able to. You should be able to
See
look
the
at
history?
who edited it.
Oh,
Yeah.
those are facts. Facts.
Kelsey's-
Where does? Yeah, he's out here. Kelsey fucks, bro. How to file version history? See version history. Let's get it. Brian put the Americans.
Spoiler.
Brian put Soul Calibur, obviously. I saw it. I put it on
You
there.
put it.
Yo, plot twist.
Yeah.
It says I edited it and I put it on there.
So you're the one.
What fucking movie is this?
Okay, so again, I'll just review this like nobody, like I'm the only one that's seen it, and then somebody will be like, "Oh yeah." So Hotel Artemis is about a hotel that is exclusively for criminals,
Mhm.
right? That you pay for a membership and you show up and you can hide out there, I think, or you get treated. I think most of the time that people show up, they get treated.
Okay.
Gunshot wounds, stab wounds, whatever. I don't know. Apparently it's in 2028. But they have like some super future tech with some things. There's a robot that in each of the rooms that kind of handles a lot of the stuff. They can 3D print any organ basically that you need.
Yeah, I definitely saw this. I want to publicly apologize to Randall for accusing him of such blasphemy. I completely remember this movie now. Go ahead.
I'm used to it, just so everyone knows.
Okay.
But Jodie Foster plays the nurse, and she like owns the building or runs the hotel. Sterling Brown plays one of the criminals in the show. Sophia Boutella, Brian Tyree Henry, and Charlie Day also play criminals. Yeah, Charlie Day's in it.
Yeah, he's in it as well.
And then Jeff Goldblum is also in this as one of the criminals. And what's his name? Dave Bautista plays a guy named Everest. He's just this huge jacked nurse's tech, that when people come in and they start causing problems, he just fucks them up.
He takes care of them. He
that is his whole job. But there's like all these riots and things that are going on in LA, and the police are trying to control everything, and people are getting tired of being taken advantage of, and it's basically like a class warfare. And Sterling Brown and his in the show, his brother is played by Brian Henry. They like rob a bank or something, and the brother gets injured, and so he takes him to the hotel, and Jodie Foster plays this awesome older nurse and has like all these little quirks to her, and she helps save him. The whole movie is just great. Like, it all basically revolves around the hotel. There's some things that go on outside and some extra stuff that happens, but there's a whole bunch of different plots that are going on because there's different criminals involved, and but it all revolves around the hotel. It is definitely worth at least one watch. I thought it was great. Jodie did an amazing job with her character. She's got anxiety. She can't really go outside, and so she runs this hotel. She also has different she kind of hustles to all the different rooms. She doesn't walk normally. She kind of like shuffle runs type thing to everywhere. Sterling Brown is just awesome. His character is I feel like he just kind of plays himself, just this like calm, cool, collected dude.
He does
everything.
He does that very well in almost everything he's in. He does that type of acting really well.
But he plays the
caricature.
Because I think he's the one that Jake and Holt interrogate in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yeah, but he plays a very similar character, somebody who's super confident, super like
cool,
he thinks he knows everything, and just is like. He's not worried about anything, and it's great.
He always seems like he has the upper hand. Like he's like,
yes.
When he speaks, like you're playing into his trap.
Yes. Charlie Day's character was interesting because I don't know that I've really seen Charlie in anything except for Pacific Rim, and I don't even really remember him in that.
He had some funny.
Sunny?
I know him. I've never seen the show, but I've seen like clips, and he's just this like kind of goofy, stupid, lovable guy.
Yeah.
In that he is not this goofy, stupid, lovable guy in this. He is a very condescending, narcissistic asshole, and he plays the part extremely well.
The guy's a really good actor in this.
Yes. The movie was just really good. It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, now that I remember it, absolutely, I'm with you there.
It apparently got torn to pieces on the ratings too. 58% by the critics and 35% from the viewers,
and people get
which
harsh.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like they probably could have gone a little bit more into what Hotel Artemis actually is and given a little bit of background, because they focused a lot on the people that were coming in and not really on the hotel itself.
They didn't give it life like they did the Continental and John Wick. Like, about the Continental and John Wick was like,
yeah, we
know the rules, we know how this thing is run. Where in Hotel Artemis, it was like not that much lore about the hotel besides it's a safe haven for criminals, and that's it. But you don't know like its history or like who's been running it and why. I mean, you do.
So they could prevent the cops from coming in there.
I mean, they were just there to hide out. I
don't know that they prevent the cops from coming in. I think it's
like an underground knowing thing. Like if you know to go to Hotel Artemis kind of thing.
Oh, it's not like anybody can accidentally walk in there.
I mean, you can, but it's not like, hey, we serve criminals as you walk in, right? Like it's
like I think the top floor is reserved for the paid memberships, and the rest of it I think is an actual hotel or some maybe. They didn't really go into what the hotel was about. They only showed the one floor, and there were a limited number of rooms, and that was it. Like there wasn't like oh, this is floor 1, this is floor 2. You literally just saw them go to the hotel and start getting treated, and that's it. When they showed up, there is this massive iron gate that's there, and you have to scan some implant in your wrist to show that you have a membership. And if it says you have a membership, that you deposit any weapons and things you have into the bin, and then they'll let you in. If you don't have a membership, then Everest takes you out and he leaves you outside.
What if you're like Brian and you have a revolver installed in your forearm?
You should see what Batista does. I'm not saying Brian's gonna get freed up. It's just he's gonna have a fight in his hands. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, he can't take the weapon out of his arm.
Randall, with Dave Bautista's might, he might just rip it all out.
Wow.
Okay, it's Batista we're talking about. That man is no joke.
Play him like a fool. He's trying to play him like a fool.
Anywho, wow, I'm over here talking all this shit. It was me who watched it. Wild. Anyway. Yeah, I'm with him on that. I remember the movie. I had a great time with it as well.
I mean, the cast is excellent. The character, the way that they play each of their characters is excellent. You know, it's very well done, I think.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't know why it's getting 38 or something. That's a weird number for that. That's too
I'd have
low.
to look up and see if I can find why, but like I do feel like they could have gone a little bit more into the hotel itself instead of focusing on all the different criminals. I think that would have been a little bit cooler, or like at least started with focusing on the hotel before bringing in all the extra criminal activity stuff.
Yeah.
But all in all, I think that they did a good job with it. It was definitely an interesting concept, you know, to have something like the Continental where you can come to a safe haven and be taken care of within the best of their abilities, and you know, kind of, and have all these rules and regulations and things.
Yeah. Alrighty. We can keep on moving here. Oh, I'm gonna skip something for Brian. I'm so sorry. Voice of Cards: The Isle Dragon Roars, Brian. Some demo you played? Talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the Direct from the beginning, they showed off this game during the Nintendo Direct.
Oh, did I miss that?
You didn't write it on there.
Oh, my bad.
You hate America?
That's probably what it is.
To sum up what they showed is that they essentially showed a tabletop like D&D style RPGs, how they showed it off. I was like, lit, but I wish it was on Steam. The next day, Johan's like, oh, it's on Steam and has a demo if you want to try it. I was like, all right. I downloaded the demo.
Okay.
I mean, that's what it is. It's an RPG, turn-based, where the aesthetic is everything's a card.
Oh, okay.
The way you move around, like traverse the world, you're a piece, and you walk on like terrain cards. When you battle, there's things that are affected by the rolling of dice.
Before you continue, sorry, you were saying you can move around on terrain cards. Can you manipulate what terrain you're currently in?
Not that it seems like.
Okay,
it's like
go ahead.
It's the terrain cards are the map, like just
okay.
Like the free roam part.
Okay.
If you try to walk on water, it's like, no, you can't do this, and it puts you back.
Okay. I don't know if you can like if you can be like a mage or something, and then like lift terrain, and then now you have a new area to go to or something.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. The demo's pretty short. Yeah, they have a D&D. Oh, roll for whatever. They have that mechanic.
Roll for initiative.
But it doesn't seem like it's initiative. It's just for one character uses an ability, and it's a damage addition. So whatever number you get on the dice, you do this much more damage. At the end of the demo, one of the people you're with, who's a magician, gets a freeze ability. It said if you roll a 5 or higher, you actually freeze the enemy. So then you have to essentially hope RNGesus is on your side. They just gave you 3 characters off rip. So I don't know if you're going to be able to recruit people or if you have any choice in how they develop in the RPG.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some games let you choose characters' jobs or advancements. This, I don't know, because they just threw 3 characters at me.
Okay.
One's a lady, what's her name? I don't remember the names. They were long, like, fantasy names. She's like a magician, like damage / support. They give you a big guy who's essentially the tank and physical damage, and they give you a pure mage. And the story that they give you is the queen of some place. Those 3 characters are part of like a I guess like a guild.
Okay.
Like a highly renowned collection of people that they're do-gooders.
Okay.
They're essentially like do-gooder mercenaries.
Like some sort of knights or something from a royal knights or something?
Sure, something like that, I guess, yeah.
Okay.
You go to the queen's room and say, oh, I need you guys to do something for me. Someone stole a very important potion or elixir. Almost like no questions. I need go get it back.
Okay.
And then that's the quest of the demo.
Oh, once you finish that, the thank you for
You
playing
walk
comes
through, One complaint: random encounters are how this works. That's something I grew out of immediately. Things like Dragon Quest, where if you see somebody, you can beat their ass. If not, you can go around them.
Right.
I grew out of random encounters. This has those.
Wait, like like old Pokemon where you're just walking and things just appear?
Yeah.
No.
You're walking and it's like, oh, fight. I was like, damn.
No.
The fights were quick. Maybe it's just because the demo they went easy, but
It don't matter. We're in 2021. We don't need that anymore. We don't.
Equipment's like most of those RPGs. There's just a shopkeep or something. Hey, let me get that sword. This is the stat. Equip it. Hey, my stat went up. To my knowledge, the card doesn't change. Like their character art, same thing.
Okay.
Anyone you meet, you get their card in like a bestiary, and they have a story on the card. If you flip the card, there's supposed to be more, but when you flip it, because the demo they say, "Hey, look forward to this in the full game."
Oh, so you can go through everyone's arcs or lore. Okay.
Yeah. You can if you've never been someplace, the terrain cards are upside down, like face down. When you walk up, they'll flip and you see what's there.
That's pretty neat.
Apparently, you can just fast travel to anything that's flipped up.
Oh, okay.
So, like, they show you, hey, we should go to the tavern or whatever. It's all over there, and there's like a big gap you haven't been. The game tells you, hey, if it's flipped over, you can just highlight it and hit A, and you'll jump.
That's pretty neat. That's pretty convenient.
That's convenient.
I like that. I like how they've committed to that aesthetic, though. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, the art's pretty on the character. The way the story's told is as if it's a dungeon master. It's a guy narrating the whole game.
Oh, okay. This shows some promise.
Like you're talking like Darkest Dungeon.
Essentially, yeah.
It sounds like it's like Bastion.
It's not while you're playing the game. It's when there's a cutscene or something happening like that.
Gotcha.
It's not like active storytelling like
dynamic
the Giant games.
Yeah.
Dynamic,
Gotcha.
yeah. I guess Darkest Dungeon's the closest example. Yeah.
I mean, this sounds like just like I'm not into JRPGs and stuff, or like our turn-based, but this sounds like it's gonna be
yeah. It seems like
a diamond in the rough here.
RPG, and it's only $30 as of right now to pre-purchase. It comes out in October. Only $30. It seems like it's gonna have a good amount of content, and it feels like a turn-based JRPG disguised as a card D&D card game.
Okay.
There's an in-game card game. Kind of stupid to me.
There's a card game within the card game?
Yeah, like an actual card game
in that world. Right, got it.
Yeah. It's kind of stupid to me. It's essentially put like cards together, or like 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever. Put them together, whoever has the most points wins, but you can only have 3 sets or combos.
Stacks or something.
If you make another one, you have to get rid of your lowest one.
Gotcha.
It's whatever. It's not Gwent.
I was gonna say, is it Twent or?
No, I don't remember the name of it. But yeah, this game, it's solid. It feels like it's gonna be solid.
Slap.
It sounds like it could slap. Like that's
potential to slap.
Game of the year.
It sounds like potentially. Okay.
I don't know if I'll get it immediately, but it being $30 and the gameplay playing how it is, there's a good chance I do get it. I just, again, the same old song. I need to get through my backlog, and hope, since all my games are long, there's a chance I get deterred from playing this because I just went through 17 animes in one.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I am interested in actually playing this game at some point.
That sounds good. I mean, if you do play, let me know. I mean, it might be up Kelsey's alley too.
Probably.
Definitely sounds pretty cool.
All right.
There's DLC already, but it all seems like aesthetic stuff.
Oh, like skins and like pre-order bonuses and stuff.
Yeah, like card backs and things like that.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. All right, Kelsey. We still got some of your movies on here. Gravity.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
So, Gravity is a movie about two astronaut. Well, one is an astronaut, as one is a a doctor, but they go up into space to install some new system on a satellite, and then I think the Russians like blow up one of their satellites, and it causes a bunch of debris to start, flying around Earth at high velocity, and but they were not in the path originally, but it apparently hit a couple of other satellites, which caused a chain reaction and blew up, those satellites, which then caused more debris, and then it came towards them. There are only two people actually in this movie that you get to see. It's Sandra Bullock and George Clooney, and they're up in space. There is a third party astronaut that is just kind of CGI'd into there. And then there's like a crew that's inside the ship that, after they get hit and they all die, they're just kind of floating bodies. But it just revolves around Sandra Bullock and George Clooney's character, and the goal after they, get blasted with debris and shrapnel and shit is to get back to Earth.
Okay.
And, she, like, at one point she gets flung off into space and is literally just kind of spinning and floating and flying around in space in just her spacesuit. Like, would be scared shitless.
Yeah, what you'd see you wouldn't be able to see my face. It'd be covered in shit. Like my helmet would just be completely, right? That's possible.
Yeah. From a
that's
writing
possible, right,
standpoint,
Randall? Why are you smiling? Like you can shit yourself in your suit, right?
I think they have like specialized stuff that keeps it from flying everywhere. But
okay, I'd disable that right away.
Nothing up here can reach up here.
Oh, it can't at all. Oh, I'd get mine modified then.
So that your helmet can be filled with doodle.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm already in space dying, Randall. All right, like what? At least die comically, right?
Who's laughing if no one can?
George Clooney. Did you hear George Clooney's still there? He'll laugh.
No, she's floating on her own.
Yeah, and when he finally gets home,
he can't see her.
Not yet, but when he sees the brown, he knows it's me.
Don't know that they would see brown necessarily in space.
Who's
the white?
The
white from the astronaut suit would probably be a better thing.
Aren't you Team Poo Poo?
Well, I mean, if you're already dying, Anthony, and you're suffocating caca, you can just open your helmet and the poop can hit your suit.
I don't know that it.
No, the way he said it's built, it's like the lower part of your bodies won't reach the.
You just
upper
said you're
body.
gonna modify it.
But but mine won't be open. I won't be able to open
whole
mine.
Thing, and I'm helping you, and then you're like, I'm gonna go back to the original lore. Get the fuck out of here. Go on.
Brian's trying to modify my suit. Like my suit's not gonna be open to anything. The only thing is everything's gonna be contained.
Oh my god. I'm getting the headache now.
What's Brian talking about opening? There's no opening anything.
What's the movie, Kelsey?
Yeah, what's he talking about? Brian, all is that my shit's coming up. There's no, it won't open. None of that's happening.
I mean, you could theoretically like take your helmet off, but
no, that's again, you guys are adding. My modification is I am trapped with my doo-doo. That's it. There's no leaving it. Like what, Brian? What are you trying to say? Opening? There's no opening. My asshole's the opening. The hell? Go ahead, Kelsey. Tell me about Gravity.
I thought it was really well done. It was interesting. Like some of the struggles they had to overcome, and how everything kind of played out and ended.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely worth at least one watch.
Okay.
It's not super exciting, but it is interesting. And kind of a
tension kind of way.
In a what?
Like it's tense, like a tension.
Yeah, it's very tense because you're like, how are they going to get out of this? What are they going to do? Like, how is this going to work? Just the thought of like being held on in space and not flying away by just a cable or something is kind of fucking terrifying. And like if that got cut or maybe you didn't clip it properly and it came off, and then you like did something and now you're just moving that direction,
bullocking your way back to a star.
So it was a cool movie.
Do they do anything that's like that's not how that works? Like in terms of science, or is it everything like seems like it's solid, right? I don't know. Do you think there's anything that you're like, I don't think that works like that way, or do you think they actually did like their homework and it looks like all of that's legit?
If anything, when I saw it, it made me realize how much more scarier space is.
It's the next frontier, Randall. Like we're stuck here on this fucking earth. We need
Frontier.
It's not the final one. All right. No, we're not skipping levels. It's the next one, right?
It's the final frontier.
Right.
I think they did a pretty decent job of keeping it
believable.
Yes.
Okay.
Like there was one scene, I don't want to spoil anything, but there was one scene that I was like, that's not how that works.
Oh.
But but then they kind of explain it and you're going, okay, that makes more sense.
You're like, oh, that can kind of work. Okay, yeah. Cool. I have to check this out. I've heard so much.
I don't want
a lot of good things about this. I just still haven't seen Gravity. I don't know why.
Yeah, it was definitely it was a nice like tension movie. Where you're just like, are they gonna hold? What's gonna happen next? Are they gonna make it? Like, what the hell's happening?
It's my kind of movie. It's my kind of movie. Keeps you. It's not haha movies. It's holy shit movies. You know what I'm saying? Suspense.
I also think it's interesting that there's literally only two characters.
You should watch 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Nobody likes that movie.
What the hell, man? Randall, he's fucking around. Relax. Jesus, Randall almost fucking. He responded like you like insulted him in some way. He's just fucking around.
I mean, I had to get him back for as many times as he's insulted
Brian today.
Bryant.
Like off rip, the first thing he comes out of his mouth is "I hate zoners." That's wild.
Yeah, and looked at me. You saw it?
Yeah, it's recorded.
I saw it in the Discord call.
Yeah.
You
what's up?
You guys ever hear that room that Brian probably knows about it, but it's a room that it's like completely soundproof.
Oh, I've heard people mention it.
What are you talking about? The quietest room in the world?
I maybe that's what it's called, but it's like you can't hear anything at all. Only thing
you can literally like hear your heartbeat.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Isn't that you guys know about that?
I heard like if you stay in there for like 5 minutes, you lose your fucking mind.
Exactly something. My point. So that's what space is like.
No, you don't have to sell me on space.
Awesome.
You don't have to sell me on it, Randall. Right?
That you okay?
Brandon, have you played No Man's Sky?
No sound, Anthony.
I can play.
You're used to sound now. No, you're thinking that you're going to hear. You hear nothing.
Randall, I'm deaf.
Okay.
It'd be funny to see someone like yelling, but you don't hear. Like if I looked at it, they just went. He assumes I'm yelling, but
I don't. That wasn't like you yelling face. That's you making fun of.
I would have this.
Now that would have been loud.
I think astronauts are some of the most mentally strongest people in the world, man.
I just want to get in the thing that spins.
Yeah, like I would like to. Same. I want to see how strong that, like how much force is actually pushing up against your body. Like I would like to try that too. That's
like cool. They're talking about people getting up to like 13 G's or whatever, and I'm like, I want to fucking try this. Like
what? 13? Wouldn't that crush your body?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how many G's it is. In
or am I getting the numbers wrong? Like how fast
in Formula One? But they go around the corner so fast that some of the drivers black out and then wake up.
No, I'm cool on that, Randall. I'll just load up Gran Turismo, right? And then pretend I'm doing that. I don't need to be black.
And I'm pretty sure the ones at NASA is a lot stronger than that.
No, I'm cool on that. I'll skip that.
Yeah, so the NASA G centrifuge potentially goes up to 20 Gs.
Oh my God. Okay, then I got my numbers wrong. I thought that was like beyond what we're able to do.
The only centrifuge training received by shuttle astronauts was a 3G ride in the Brooks Air Force Base. No, that's not what I'm looking for.
That's wild. You only train at 3 and then you go into a 20. That's quite the leap. You'd probably vomit, right?
That's the goal.
Oh, that's okay. My apologies. Anyway.
So anyway, yeah, Gravity was awesome. Definitely a good tension thriller movie. Definitely worth at least one watch.
Okay, we got 2 more for you.
Not
buddy.
one of those that you're going to be like, no, that was so good, I'm watching it again. But it was a cool, like, that was interesting.
You're glad you experienced it.
Yeah.
I feel you. Okay.
How close is it to the feeling of chewing 5 gum, would you say?
I think it beats out chewing 5 gum, but I think
That's quite the
I think
fucking
that
statement.
feeling of the coldness and the sudden like everything going dark is pretty close.
So I'm guessing everyone in this chat but me is okay with going to space.
I am.
I
I'm
wish I was in
just.
space right now.
Right?
I would like to try it. Like I'd like explore. Like again, I played No Man's Sky after the launch. Like after they added a bunch of cool stuff, and just again taking off in that game will never get old. Like getting in the ship and just like and leaving and landing on another planet, that never gets old for me.
I mean, one of
Like
my favorite
exploring.
things about flying in a plane is just feeling that the pushback and then the sudden like lift.
Come hit your back.
Yeah. What? What did he say? What did he say?
I'm not repeating what he
So
said.
you heard what he said.
I
Kels,
heard
what did he say?
said.
Okay.
Something about come on your back.
Oh, okay. He's losing it right now. All right, Kelsey. Bullet to the head. Talk about it.
Gun to your glue.
Gun to your glue. No, that's the name of the movie, Brian. Bullet to the head.
So bullet to your head is bullet to the head is a Sylvester Stallone movie.
So
It's a
there's
very
subtitles?
Oh wait, is
it's
this the movie with Jason Momoa?
yeah.
Okay.
You seen it as well?
Yeah. I don't remember it, but I saw it.
I was hoping he said never heard of it.
So it's about a hitman and a cop both see their partners die, or have like watch them get killed, something along those lines,
Okay.
and they end up teaming up to take down the company responsible.
Oh, okay.
Sylvester Stallone plays the hitman who has been in and out of jail for years, has done all sorts of bad stuff and was like trying to get out of the game, sort of not, just kind of taking jobs, and then they turn on him. Jason Momoa is the contract killer that they hire to take out Stallone and his partner. And I think he actually took out the cop's partner too. It is even though it was created in 2013, it looks like it's based in 1980.
Oh, wow. Really?
It's just, it looks very dated.
Okay.
Stallone plays himself. It's basically like watching a Rocky movie.
So he's got like the action hero caricature going.
Yeah. He's just, it's Rambo meets Rocky, like.
Ramkey?
Yes.
Sure. We got Ramkey in the cast.
Stallone is just like, he's just been working out like a ton. He's fucking massive.
Speaking of which, I just saw your shirt. Excellent fucking shirt.
Yep. Propane.
That's fantastic.
That's from Star Trek, right?
Yes, Brian. Absolutely. The New Frontier. Go for it.
With Hank Pym. And
good
That's
call.
good.
Good. That's
good.
really good.
That's good.
See what he did there, Randall?
That's going off.
Yeah, he nodded. He knows.
Yo, he fucks.
Go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good. But like the cops, like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna bring everybody in. They're gonna pay for their crimes. And Stallone's like, nah, fam, just 2 to the face, and then murders them and just moves on with life. And he's like, you're gonna have to pay for all that. He's like, yeah, whatever. We'll figure this out after we're done. And he's like, I could just take you out too.
So it's an interesting relationship they'll have throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Dang, I didn't know Jason Momoa was acting back then. Right? Like this is
he
before.
He looks really young and kind of weird in this compared to the like full beard and everything. He's got like some little scruff, like lighter than what I got. Basically like if you shaved completely and just left the like 5 o'clock shadow, that's kind of what he has. That looks like it's it.
Only
Okay.
thing I remember from that movie is Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa twirling an axe.
An
Yeah.
axe?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
dang.
so him and Stallone get into a fight. I think that's actually what made me want to watch it. Is I was watching one of those like GQ or Insider Explains movies, and they like rate movies based on movie action sequences. Like a weapons fighter was talking about using these axes and things, and it showed Stallone and Momoa fighting with two different like fire axes, and
Oh.
and so I was like, well, I want to see this, and then I saw the movie poster, and I was like, this is going to be absolutely terrible.
Did it end up terrible? Like, do you not recommend it? It sounds like it's a
I,
decent. I mean, it sounds like a decent action movie.
it's an hour and a half action crime thriller. You would not miss out on life if you didn't see this.
Oh, okay.
It's one of
That's
those
fair.
if you want to waste time, you're just like, somebody said this looked cool, let's give it a whirl. Watch it and then go, I kind of wish I hadn't watched that.
Alrighty. All right. Copy that. I don't even
Like it looks like it was. I mean, this is 2013. Like when was the first Expendables movie created? You know,
around that time,
like
right?
I
Or
mean, the Expendables. Uh, 2010.
yep,
Like that had
that looks
a
more
way
modern.
higher production quality than like I'm not lying to you when I say this looks like a Rocky or Rambo film with the way that
It
the
was shot.
cameras and everything are shot. Yes. Like it looks very dated,
It
but
might,
it's not
it
because it
might
was
have
created
been. It might have been a low budget movie. That's probably what it was.
I mean I wouldn't be surprised like
They probably didn't
it
have the
more than
equipment.
likely was created and produced and written by uh uh Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, so okay, then maybe he got the money he got from the first Expendables. He's like, I'm gonna put it into the second Expendables, but he still needed like a movie to come out because he was in the contract. He's like, oh, I'll just make this with some spare
Yeah.
change or something.
So you're not missing out on anything if you don't watch it. I don't know that you're necessarily gaining anything if you do watch it.
It's not a go see. It's not a hey go see this, right?
No, I feel like this is if you happen to have it on your Plex server or if you're scrolling through Apple TV and you're like, somebody watch this. Let's give it a whirl. I got nothing else I want to do.
Right. It's a bit
I
a
watch
busy.
it because it's Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, because you like Sylvester Stallone.
I mean,
I
for me, I have to watch all his movies.
I mean, you grew up with watching a bunch of his action movies, so
Yeah, anytime he's in a
Yeah.
movie, I have to watch it.
that makes sense.
Like that's part of the reason that I wanted to watch it is like because it's Sylvester Stallone and I grew up, I watched the Rambo series, I watched
Rocky.
Rocky, all that stuff. And I wanted to continue the list and was kind of disappointed.
Oh, okay.
Apparently they're coming out with a Demolition Man 2 though, which I'm curious to know about.
Really?
It's in his list.
That's crazy.
Because like the first Demolition Man, like okay, there you go. If you wanted to if you had a choice between Demolition Man and this, I would choose Demolition Man
Okay.
over this
That's not
every
even
time.
I was about to say
competition.
I don't have to watch this movie to tell you to go watch Demolition Man. Like that.
And it
that
had
was
Wesley Snipes in it too.
Yeah. Like the production quality is way better. It's got a better story. It's got better acting. Like,
And Sandra Bullock was in
and
it.
Sandra Bullock's in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's Demolition Man had a lot of really good names.
It's a classic.
And then there's it's not Billy Crystal. Shit.
Joel, Billy Idol.
Okay, Brian.
Man without a face.
Hang on. I gotta look it up because I have to know. Yeah, I mean it's so Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, Sandra Bullock, Benjamin Bratt,
Dennis Leary's in it.
Dennis Leary. Where the fuck is he?
Who are we looking for?
Me.
I can't think of the guy's name, but he's one of the police officers. Apparently, Jack Black was in it.
Yep. Billy
Rob
D.
Schneider.
Rob Schneider.
Rob
right.
Schneider's in it.
That's not Billy at all, is it?
No. Good stuff. All right. We got you one more on you, dude.
I'll make this one quick.
The other guys. Are you the one that doesn't really like Will Ferrell comedies?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay, cool. That's why I was curious on this one. What's up?
Oh,
in my head, I thought I was the one that was telling you that.
What?
That don't like Will Ferrell. Don't find him funny.
Oh, you don't find him either. Okay.
I thought.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really care for a lot of Will Ferrell movies.
Okay.
I feel like it.
He's not
all
funny.
of them are basically the same.
Okay.
And I just don't really care for a lot of them. The only ones that I really like are if he's like kind of like a supporting character. Like I really liked Elf.
Yeah. He's the main character on that.
What?
He's the main character.
Oh, yeah, I know. And then well, shit. What's the old movie? I am totally drawing a blank.
My Boy Blue, that one.
Yeah.
Old school.
Yeah.
Old school. Yeah. Like those were funny, but I didn't care at all for
Step Brothers or
the racing one. I don't know that I've ever seen Anchorman.
You didn't like Talladega Nights? Oh, okay.
Talladega, yeah, I didn't care for Talladega Nights. Like it was funny, but it was like
don't make that face. If he didn't like Talladega Nights, I don't know if you'll like Anchorman. So
Anchorman's way better than Talladega Nights.
It's not that, but he's saying he doesn't like him as the main dude, and he is the main dude in Anchorman.
But he said Elf, so I don't believe that sentence anymore.
Oh, okay. I mean, give Anchorman a shot, but I don't think you'll like it then.
Like there was one other movie that maybe it's not just because he's the main character. Maybe it's just the writing in general. Like Elf felt different. So did the one where he's like he hears the voice and it's like describing the way he lives and everything, and then it turns out it's this writer that is like writing.
Life is Strange.
Uh,
Stranger Than Fiction. That's what it's called, I think.
Yeah, that one was cool, but it also had a great cast.
Yeah.
A great supporting cast. It was more than just him and whatever his
John C. Reilly.
Yeah, like John C. Reilly's. I like John C. Reilly, but I feel like everything that he's cast in with Will Ferrell is just the same shit.
Okay, well, question for you: how do you feel about Paul Rudd and Steve Carell?
Paul Rudd is funny. Steve Carell is okay.
I'm curious now. I need you to go watch Anchorman. I got to see what you think about it.
It's been in my list. It's been one of those things that like everybody's like, you need to go watch Anchorman, and I'm just like, it doesn't look like something I want to watch. But I'm like, I really want to watch it to some extent just to see if it's.
I'm very curious.
It's funny.
Like for science, I want you to watch don't bother about it. The second one's fine, but don't watch the second one. The first one is where they had like magic,
where everything was like golden.
Yeah, man. But
all right,
I'm definitely curious to see if you would like Anchorman at all.
Okay, well, maybe I'll give it a watch this week and I'll report on it next week.
Okay, that sounds good.
So the other guys is about, they go through this massive list. It's Ice-T.
Yep.
Is the one that's like narrating the movie, and Will Ferrell is this seems like a very timid, just desk nerd that does paperwork, and then Mark Wahlberg is a relatively what seems to be a relatively good cop who just had a bad string of luck because he shot Derek Jeter during like the World Series or something. And it was, there were parts that were funny, but I felt like they tried way too hard with a lot of stuff and then just kept beating stuff into the ground. Like Mark Wahlberg's anger, yelling at Will Ferrell thing was just like
too much.
Oh, okay. Let's move on with stuff.
What about the peacock?
The peacock thing was funny, and then it was like he just kept bringing it up, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, enough with the peacock. Okay. The one thing that I did find funny that they kept repeating was that Will Ferrell's character, every hot chick was like, I want to nail that, and then he was a pimp when he was in college, and he's
Cool question. Is this the same movie where like one of them had like a really attractive wife?
Yes. That's Will Ferrell had
he's
it.
married to Eva Mendes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, but and then like Samuel L. Jackson and Dwayne Johnson, in the very beginning are these like two badass cops, and I'm like, I'd rather watch a movie about those two and the shenanigans that they get into than this shit.
Especially if what they did in the beginning of the movie is normal for them, right?
Yeah, like it was hilarious, and I just feel like the banter between the two of them would just be,
They should be in a movie.
amazing.
I'm not sure why they
Yes.
don't have a buddy cop movie by now. Especially after that. That's weird.
Like I heard that Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista are going to be in a buddy cop movie, or wanting to be in a buddy cop movie, and I'm totally down for that.
I'm down as well. Dave Bautista has proven himself to be really funny to me. So,
but Mark Wahlberg, he's like totally taken aback by Eva Mendes and being married to Will Ferrell. It's like, who is that? That's the old
wife.
ball and chain.
Yeah. What?
No, for real.
Seriously.
Who is that? That's my wife. And he's like,
"You're shitting with me." Yeah, like who is that for real? You're his wife, and he's like, ask her for confirmation. Like you're married. That was great.
It's like, yeah, he came in with poison ivy in his asshole, and we just fell in love, and it was like.
That's why it's weird that you don't like Ferrell's stuff, because that's his humor, the random shit that you're like, what is he saying?
Like, I feel like a lot of the random stuff is great, but it gets overplayed. Like it's forcing too much.
Okay.
And I feel like they did that even in this movie. Like there were parts that were really funny, and then it was like, okay, we're done. Can we move on can we move on?
He's gonna hate Anchorman. When the fucking fight scene with all the other fucking
I think he's gonna like that.
Oh my god. Oh man. All right.
I don't know. Like I was talking to Adam about this, and like Adam and my mom just love Step Brothers. And again, don't get me wrong, there are funny parts.
Right.
But I felt like, it was the same thing with like Superbad. There were funny parts, and then the rest of it was just like, okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. All right. Yeah, Other Guys is a funny one for me. And I enjoyed it a lot. And then I saw The Nice Guys, and I'm like, nothing will top this.
The Nice Guys?
You haven't seen The Nice Guys? Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe.
It's a comedy.
And it's a comedy. If you haven't seen this, forget that I said to go watch Anchorman. Watch The Nice Guys.
No, I haven't seen this.
Oh my god. Kelsey, don't watch Anchorman. Watch The Nice Guys. I know you'll enjoy yourself with The Nice Guys.
Watch both.
Okay.
Wow. I thought you saw it already. Yeah, anyone watching, listening, you haven't seen The Nice Guys, do yourself a favor, go watch The Nice Guys.
Just a lot of blood.
Apparently there's...
What's wrong?
Hold on.
I'm holding.
There's a Nice Guys couples therapy?
No, it's just called
it's just a 9-minute skit thing. I don't know.
Okay. The movie's just called The Nice Guys. I don't know what that couples therapy thing is. But yeah, if you had to pick something to watch this weekend between those two, sorry, Brian, I'm giving it to The Nice Guys, not Anchorman. But that's just my personal, thing. Okay, so would you recommend it? The Other Guys.
I mean, if you like Will Ferrell, I think you would definitely enjoy the movie. If you want just some kind of like, it's not a terrible movie. I just was not super invested in it. So my opinion is kind of skewed because one, again, I really just don't care for a lot of Will Ferrell's movies.
Right.
Two, I think they just tried too hard with a bunch of the comedy, by just reusing it over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But it was not a terrible movie. I thought it was fairly funny overall.
Okay.
I was just not heavily invested into it.
That's fair. Oh my God, he's gonna watch The Nice Guys and come back and be like, I fucking hated it, and I'm gonna cry on camera, right? Like that's what's gonna happen. I'm setting myself up for like a heartbreak.
It'll be one of those where you hype it up and then somebody watches it and they're like, that was terrible.
What was it recently? I told you came back and you're like, I hated it.
It was
Suicide Squad.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, the second one. Yeah. And you said the first one was better. That's when I'm like, holy hell. God. Yeah, I was like, whoa, that's wild.
Like, a lot of the writing was just really stupid.
In the second one, you mean?
Yeah. And it was really stupid in the first one too. But like, I enjoyed the first one, and it was probably just because it was, kind of like with like any, almost any movie series where like the first one that introduces you to it is usually better. Like there are very few sequels that are either as good or better than the original.
Right. I feel that. It just hit. You know how you just get deer head in the head, like the deer in the headlights. That's what, when you said the first one was better, that's what hit me. I'm like, all I heard was and then it done.
Bus.
Yeah, just immediately. Shoot. Okay.
Yeah, I really just didn't care for the second one. Like, I just thought I feel like there was a lot of things they could have done to just end it way sooner, first of all. Like the polka dotted guy could have killed his mom 1,000 times over, That
man was really powerful, man. Like, I don't know why they didn't just use him a lot.
Like, he's like, I'm going to aim for the leg. No, bitch, aim for its fucking eye. Like, it's a goddamn starfish.
Aim for the
Where
face.
are you supposed to aim?
Right in the middle. All right, well, we're going to wrap this thing up. Releases this week. We got some games coming out. As we mentioned earlier, New World comes out this week. The new Hot Wheels game, racing game, comes out this week. Brian's fighting game, Melty Blood Type Lumina, comes out this week. The turn-based FPS game, Lemnis Gate, comes out this week.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you heard that right.
Can you say that again?
It's a turn-based first-person shooter. It's called Lemnis Gate.
I don't know if you understand what FPS means, but turn-based is not part of it.
I understand. Believe me, I've been following this game for a while. They're doing some weird things with it. It's like you have to try to guess the other team's movements, and like it's really weird. It's definitely new.
It's one of those games where, all right, so turn one, you do this action. Your next turn is you play as someone else, and that action's still happening, and then you do something else.
And then the other person has to like cancel it's definitely a game of chess in first person. Like it looks cool. I will not be playing it because I don't have that mental fortitude to play something like that. But I had to mention it because it looks new. Like I've never seen something like this, right? We have an expansion to Outer Wilds, Echoes of the Eye, and Steel Assault comes out this week. For movies, we have The Many Saints of Newark, which I'm excited to go and watch this week, and The Addams Family 2, which I didn't know they were making a sequel until like 2 weeks ago. So I'm excited because I saw the first one and I had a good time with it. Hopefully the second one is just as good.
No, there was a first or second one.
I didn't know there was a first version of this.
Yeah, I thought I reviewed it on here. Did I not?
I don't know.
Maybe you did. Maybe it was just not memorable.
I did. Nope, that's not it. I didn't. It's not on any of these lists.
I mean, they have a really nice cast.
Yeah,
Bill Hader, Snoop Dogg, Wallace Shawn, Bette Midler, Nick Kroll, Chloe Grace Moretz, Charlize Theron.
Oh my God!
And Oscar Isaacs. Like, I mean, they got a really nice cast for the voices.
Why didn't I review this? Okay, so. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the first Addams Family, go watch it. Have a nice night, Sankofa. Appreciate you joining. That's one of the chat people. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't reviewed it. I saw it. It was a great time. Go watch the first Addams Family. Great cast. Animation was awesome. Very funny. So that's why I'm looking forward to the second one. That's wild that I did not review it at all. It'd be like, yeah, I thought I did too. For music, I didn't see anything on there, Brian, so if you want to go and double check, you can, but I didn't see anything. Randall, what's wrong? Oh, okay.
Me or him?
Me or her. Randall, what are you doing this week?
I'm either gonna play
Returnal
or Hitman.
Are you gonna stream it?
No.
I mean, you can literally just stream
directly
from the PlayStation like I did.
Yeah.
That's why you didn't have your camera?
Yeah, I was streaming from the PlayStation. That's also apparently why it sounded like I was talking into a controller because I was talking into a controller.
Talking through like a vacuum tube. I was gonna say that, but I was like, I guess he's just like have a different setup.
I did.
I had your stream up, but I was in the middle of a master level Destiny quest for an upgraded version of my repeater, and you have exactly 25 minutes to beat it, and it's hard. So that's what I had it up, but I couldn't write anything.
Oh, I remember that one. And the way you beat it is you just uninstall the game.
Yeah.
So you speedrun it? I credits roll too somehow, even though the game's uninstalled. All right, is that all you doing? Hitman and Eternal? Or Returnal, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. Kelsey, you gonna be back on Twitch? Do some Act 3 if there's an Act 3 for Returnal?
Yeah, wasn't likely. I'll probably stream it until I beat it. I really kind of want to 100% at the game just because there's only like hang on.
What do you mean 100%? Like 100% trophies or 100% like?
Yeah, I get platinum it.
Yeah,
because there's only 2.8% of the of people have gotten
the platinum.
Yes.
Oh, then go for it.
I don't remember the validity on this, but there's a special ending that you have to do specific stuff to get.
Okay. And then apparently only 28% of people have finished Act 3.
Okay, so it confirmed there is 3 acts. Okay.
Well, that because I'm looking at the trophies. There's Finish Act 1, Finish Act 2, and Finish Act 3. So not even half of the people have finished Act 1. 40% of people finished Act 2, and only 28% of people finished Act 3.
Nice. Yeah,
and like some of these have just wild numbers, wildly low numbers for finishing.
Yeah, it's because that game is like you gotta sink in time. And also, like for me, I should just start doing that and just start fast traveling to the next area because I just want to go through all of it. Like I fight the first boss again, even though I beat him. Like I kept going and doing the same loop.
No, I grab everything and just move on because I'm like I just don't, not that I can't beat them again. I just don't want to deal with having to do that and then because it's a lot of time. I mean, you got three health gauges for them, and some of the bosses become kind of a pain in the ass during some of their secondary phases.
Right. Yeah. So I might just start doing that to get through it. All right. So we got some Returnal coming from me. You gonna stream anything else? Are you gonna stream New World?
I don't know.
Might be just some private U time there, just to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I feel that.
You can treat it like I treated Cyberpunk stream.
Yeah, and apparently I was wrong. Apparently, I don't know what hovering over the thing on PSN does, but it changes the number. 17.8% of people have actually collected all trophies, not 2.8.
Okay,
I think 2.8 is probably the total number of platinum trophies collected across people.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. All right, Brian. What are you doing this week?
I might stream tomorrow. I'm not sure if I have things I want to do instead of stream. Wednesday we're playing.
Yeah, I forgot to confirm what we're doing.
Thursday, what I'm gonna do for backlog day is probably move it to Fridays. One, because October 8th is when Metroid comes out, and that's gonna be my backlog game until I finish it. And two, it makes more sense only because if it's a game that I'm fucking with heavy duty, because I don't work the next day, I have more time to play it, so it doesn't have to be a 3-hour stream.
Okay.
So Thursday, I don't know if I'll stream. Maybe that'll also be a me day. I don't know. Friday, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not starting a new game on the backlog until Metroid because, like I said, my whole backlog besides that, 20 plus hours each game. So I'll probably just play something for giggles. What I'll play, I don't know. We'll find out together.
Okay.
And I don't know what I'm doing on the weekend.
All right.
Anthony.
Yeah, what's up?
What are you doing?
Oh, what I'm doing. Oh, snap. Let's see. Well, tomorrow is backlog day, right? For me, which is Tuesday. What am I playing tomorrow? If I know. Oh, I do know. Days Gone. I'm going to keep running through Days Gone for a bit. I've been doing some stuff offline, I think, but who cares, right? I'm just going to stream where I'm at and keep it moving.
Okay, I was going to ask you about that.
What?
I want to... There's games I want to do that for that are backlog games, but I don't know if you're like, oh, I want everything as a video or anything like that.
No, I mean you put on. Oh, I just keep putting them all in one playlist. If it begins and ends in different places, okay, you know. And just hey, I want to see an Ender Lilies gameplay. We'll just look that up in the channel. And we'll see. They'll see you, right? Like. Anyway, so yeah, Days Gone tomorrow. On Wednesday, I'm assuming it's either Red Dead or Apex, right? Thursday, it'll probably be either Destiny 2 or World War Z, depending on what Janana wants to do. And then Friday is no stream, so enjoy the podcast on the audio podcast services everywhere. That's where it's going to release if you weren't watching this live. And then that's about it. The weekend, I got some movies to watch, and we'll be back next week again. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, this has been Anthony. We got Brian here. We got Kelsey /Weird TV. We got Randall /Zen5 /Loaded Up /Zen Ive / who knows? The Bat / Gotham / right?
Whores only.
/ yes.
/ ass player die.
Yes, / I hate zoners. So like he's got all kinds of names. But we'll be back next week. Thank you guys again. Bye.